The idea of celestial navigation on a globe, which I understand you disagree with, doesn't use right triangles.
What the hell did you just say?
The idea of celestial navigation on a globe, which I understand you disagree with, doesn't use right triangles.
From second grade doofus, well, duh. A right-angled triangle is a triangle with one of the angles as 90 degrees.
Okay, so you also mentioned celestial navigation. Do you know what an elevation angle is?
Yeah, it's how high above 90 degrees a star appears, like the angular elevation.
So 90 degrees would be the zenith, and 90 along a baseline to your position, correct?
Yeah.
From second grade doofus, well, duh. A right-angled triangle is a triangle with one of the angles as 90 degrees.
90 degrees from that position on the Earth to the star is straight up. That's 90 degrees, yes. The idea of celestial navigation on a globe doesn't use right triangles. The position directly under the star is 90 degrees.
Retard!
From second grade doofus, well, duh. A right-angled triangle is a triangle with one of the angles as 90 degrees.
90 degrees, that's 90 degrees, yes. 90 degrees doesn't use right triangles. 90 degrees, that's 90 degrees.
Thank you.
The baseline we will be travelling along and are navigating is functionally and mathematically flat, isn't it, Matthew?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So
yeah,
Earth, that would be the Earth. That would be the Earth that we will be navigating is flat, isn't it, Matthew?
Yeah, we're navigating on the Earth, and functionally it's flat, and we navigate flat, along a flat map, of course.
Welcome to Flat Earth, Matthew. That's correct. From a university-grade mathematician, for all of you ladies and gentlemen, that will be trimmed out and posted everywhere. That's a university-grade mathematician telling you, the audience, that Earth is functionally measured and navigated flat. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Of course, that's why all maps are flat.
As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Got a great one lined up for you today, as far as you know. Let's check Discord. Well, before we go to Discord and the beautiful Betty Van Velsen, let's try this. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 1 chicken chucker, 2 mother cluckers, and a chicken chucker in a pear tree.
This is so cringy.
It came to me, just before I went off air. I said I got to do it.
1 chicken chucker, 2
mother cluckers.
I wanted to say something else.
Well, feel free. It's
a family show.
There's a lot of it's primed for artistic licensure.
Why isn't there some Christmassy theme in the title of this show? Right?
It's on the thumbnail. It's implied.
No, but later on we won't see that anymore. You need to get another title. It's too boring.
Well, you want to run this show?
Yes. So we were still talking in the pre-show about why Christmas, and I noticed that you didn't introduce me yet. Um, why is it that Christmas is accompanied by many songs and well, singing and choiring and whatever?
Yeah, it's a unique perspective that somebody caught on to. Yeah. Is there?
Yeah.
I can't think of any other holidays, even worldly or Americanized holidays that have songs associated with them, except Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's basically the topic of today.
Is it topic?
Because Neil brought it up, and maybe Neil should sort of chime in. And Adam was trying to answer
Rump
that, or sometime,
or
or
rumpusum? Go ahead, Neil.
no comment on.
No, I was just thinking about it the other day. It's like there's no other holidays that generate music. So many different generations singing like music about Christmas.
That's deep. Adam, what's your take?
Well, I thought Neil had a good point, and it's more interesting that the fundamental joyous point of Christianity isn't necessarily the birth narrative. In fact, it's not, is it?
No.
Fundamentally, it's the resurrection. And Betty was saying, well, it's a bit depressing, isn't it, that on the Friday? You get to the Sunday, things are looking a bit more positive, aren't you? And
We
it's
should be singing.
and that's the point. You don't really, and I think it's a good point. I don't have an answer, but I think it's a good point that it isn't actually the big celebration isn't the fundamental premise for Christianity, is it?
Well, I think Betty's onto it. It's the birthday. It's the gift that God gave us. Maybe that's why it inspired people to write music about it. This wonderful good news that these shepherd boys were given, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
I think so. Yes.
When I was in college, around Christmas time every year, I would do with the church, the big church in town, the Messiah, and it's just a choir where you're singing songs from Handel's Messiah. It's beautiful.
Well, they do have the sort of one thing that they do at Easter. I forget the name. Also, some of these famous composers. Oh, I forget it. It's usually in German, by the way. Let me find out what that was. Um,
You may find some, but it's not like Christmas, you know?
You don't get any pop songs, do you, about Easter or Ramadan or?
Why you gotta bring Ramadan in?
Because we were talking about it, as QE said, in a kind of worldwide, in multi-faiths. There's nobody else has any other. You don't get Buddha's birthday, do you? With Hare Krishna's marching, singing. It's not a point of celebration. That was what I found interesting. In not just where it's a point of celebration, but actually you don't get it in any other religions, really. Not that I've seen.
So I'm googling something like German song with Easter, and I get a lot of things. In also there is a post 23 last-minute Easter songs for Germany, for example, or Easter songs rhymes around the world. Easter song of praise by Toronto A. Stephen for Unison. So there are also Easter songs.
I'm not meaning like that. I'm meaning like you don't get Mickey Bubbles, do you, or Mariah Carey doing an Easter song?
No, these are not that.
Yeah.
These are not that.
Yeah, these are not that. Good one. Yeah.
Yes, it's very, very English, isn't it?
It works. It works, but it's really not telling us anything.
The thing is that people forgot about Easter, what it meant. Basically it.
Not orbital motion, and Johann Kepler, he didn't forget.
No, because they are being reminisced every time.
According to Nathan, from this book that he has, that the quote-unquote church, that's the Roman Catholic Church there, Neil, incorporated Johannes Kepler to try to figure out when Easter was, and that's how orbital mechanics was born. Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing.
Okay, I got it. It's the Matthäus Passion, right? Bach's. From Bach.
From Bach.
Yeah, Bach.
Bach.
Matthäus Passion. But Matthäus Passion und Johannes Passion. Das ist
Matthäus or Armadeus?
Matthäus
Amadeus.
Oh, guys. Come on. This is serious.
This is serious stuff. Go on, Betty.
Serious stuff. You guys wanted to know if there's any songs that are being played at Easter, and this is it.
What, 300 years ago?
No, still now they are doing this in churches.
I know they can still play it now, but no one's bothered. The citation you got is like, yeah, well, 300 years or 200 odd years ago, somebody
No,
wrote
it's
something.
being done today, Adam. In my country, it's very much so. Like, basically, you belong to the elite, but they do this every year at Easter.
I think you're getting off topic a bit.
Yeah, well.
So a Slade gonna bring out a song. It's Easter. That's what I'm saying is missing, not as people in history.
Like a rooster.
He is a mother clucker.
Well, if Joy to the World, to me, that song, Joy to the World, if it's going to be sung, it's going to be sung on Christmas and Resurrection Sunday.
You guys are going off on tangents. That's not part of the explicit topic. Just
Did
going,
we define the topic?
Going every which way. Yeah,
but they can't focus, John. They're never good.
Yeah.
Well, what was the topic?
Oh my God, you brought it up.
But that's what we're talking about, no?
That's not what we're talking
why is
about.
It the only holiday. I got you.
So what's the question?
What's the crux of the biscuit?
In other words,
Said, why is it the only holiday that generates happy music and joy?
Every day asks for happy music.
Not only happy music, it's why it's been so commercialized, and why are there so many Christmas songs? You might get one Easter bunny rabbit song here and there, but Christmas, there's a lot of Christmas songs.
It's the darkest days of the year. People are coming together. It's the northern countries. Most of them are the Christian countries, right? And we are getting together in wintertime together. Open fireplace. We have these American movies back in the day with A White Christmas from Danny Kaye and all these others. And it's caught on, and people want to have a happy Christmas. You need to have a happy Christmas.
Because people in Australia, it's really hot. It's their summer.
I know, but still, most of the northern countries do have that, and America has especially commercialized that.
Betty, put a cork in it. Flatsy.
Superchat.
Superfluid.
Superfluid. Alaric 87. Showing support. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Alaric. Appreciate it. We interrupted Betty. Go
I've
on,
got
Betty.
to take objection to that super chat.
There's an
Happy
objection.
Christmas.
There's an objection on the floor.
Yeah. Happy Christmas, man. Happy Christmas.
Yeah. It's not that difficult. Happy Christmas.
Sorry, Betty, I went ahead and you could uncork yourself. Go ahead. What were you on about?
Uncork. I forgot totally about that. See, I have a memory of a goldfish.
Join a club.
Yeah, the club of goldfishes.
Yeah. All right.
So, what's everybody gonna do?
We're gonna have dinner. Well, we had the whole family over for dinner. Well, not the whole family, some extended family members. And that's for Thanksgiving. We had the usual, turkey and all the fixings. But we don't want to do that. My wife said not to do that again because it's just boring. We're not big turkey fans unless you fry that monkey in peanut oil. Then that's a different game. But she decided to have pasta Christmas.
A pasta Christmas.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
So spaghetti, Alfredo.
Mac and cheese.
That's a Christmas dish. That's more of a Thanksgiving dish. I don't think mac and cheese though. Just different types of pasta and pasta sauce.
No chicken?
We're not chicken chuckers, Betty.
Yes, you are. You eat wings more than there's chickens.
You eat likey wingies.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, okay. Well, usually that's the time of the year that we eat more meat than usual here in Holland. For me, at least.
Yeah, but going around, maybe we'll drive around. We used to do it with the kids. We'd drive around town in the outskirts of town and look at all the Christmas lights.
Oh yeah, the sparkies of the town. Huh?
Yep.
The ones that do have.
That's another thing. What generates all decorations? That's another thing. That's the only holiday where it's taught. Well, now Halloween, but I don't consider that a holiday.
It's kind of going by the way. I've noticed over the past few years, let's say 10 years, that it might be due to the economics of the situation. I don't know, but I've noticed a drawdown in the number of people decorating and having lights on their houses.
Or there's just lazy.
But I've been noticing more Halloween decorations.
That's true. Yeah.
There
a
is
lot more people decorate for Halloween.
I don't
but
know
you can
about a
only
lot
spend
more
your money
people.
once.
I don't know about that, but there are Halloween decorations. Go on. What were you saying, Betty? I didn't
You
grasp.
can only spend your money once, and if Halloween has been come and gone, then yeah, no money, no more.
That was
No
deep.
more money. Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
We're in the deep end now.
Yeah.
I call it Halloween.
There we go. Objection.
Objection on the floor.
Not the case here. My street is lit up. Every house has got lights outside.
Really?
Yeah, you might see the odd pumpkin and that at Halloween, but Christmas it's all.
Yeah, but you live
all
up.
lit up.
Yeah, but you live uptown. I mean, you're like, you're in the above middle class and stuff. I'm talking about, where the common folk live.
It's just the same.
Is it?
Just as much, yeah. Even more so, I would say, in some places. Yeah, that's not.
It's not.
I don't feel that.
It's not class.
I see a decline. I've been seeing a decline in Christmas decorations where houses that were always lit up are not lit up anymore, but they still, and they're really extravagant with Halloween now.
Yeah, we got that point from you before, Neil. Thanks.
Yeah, I do see it here.
Objection.
Objection on the floor.
That's the Neil's repetition.
Go on,
Does it
Betty.
have anything to do with their excessive power bills?
That's a really New Zealander type of accent you got there, Betty.
Yeah.
That is not a New Zealander type of accent.
What deep voice you have, Betty.
Let him talk.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, does it have anything to do with their power bills? Because everyone's power all around the world has gone up.
Sure.
Running enough lights to cover a city on one house might have something to do with it.
We have one of those in our neighborhood. It's the best in town. But yeah, that's what I was bringing up. I can't put my finger on it whether it's getting. The older generation is kind of fading away, and the younger generation is not taking up the customs and things, or could it be more of an economic
Objection!
Objection on the floor.
Yeah, again, my Leah, I've started to call him the Christmas bear. He's gone Christmas mental. Yeah, he's so excited about Christmas. Yeah? I disagree. I genuinely don't feel it.
Is it a
You
feeling?
might be just turning to pagan heathens in America, de-Christianifying, but I
Yeah,
don't
you hit it
feel
right
that.
in the head. It's America. It might be the same in England, but it ain't the same here.
What is different, Neil? But because you also moved, right? So there might be some state issue.
Yeah.
No, I was noticing it when I was up north too, because there was a whole section down in Howard Beach that every house was lit up. People would be in cars just to see the display, and then it trickled down to maybe one house doing it, so it's no big deal anymore.
Yeah. So we don't know what the cause is. It could be maybe a combination of causes. And that's all I got to say about that.
I know what the cause is: the amount of godless heathen moving into America.
Can you prove that?
Yeah, I can prove that.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Take a ride to the border.
Take
See
a
how many
ride.
Christmas lights they're bringing in.
I'm sorry. Taking a ride to the border doesn't prove your nonsensical claim.
How about no Bibles being taken to school? How about no prayer allowed in school? How about happy holidays instead of happy Christmas? How about
That's
that
not a
sort of
new
stuff?
development. How about, Mrs. How
Yes,
about?
You can't
I
even say
understand that.
Merry
But
Christmas
gradually,
anymore. You got to say Happy Holidays.
yeah, it's gradually gotten worse. So that's the proof. And it will get worse. And they at school days, they will teach that there is no Christianity.
Yeah,
So
because it
if your
offends
child
somebody.
is being taken to school where they are being taught Christianity basically, or had a Bible with them, or could be doing a prayer, or make some chores and things with Christmas on Christmas theme, right? Then these kids will come home and will be enthusiastic about the lights that Dad puts up in the garden, right? But if they're being taught that it's all bogus, and if they're also being taught that it sort of harms the environment or the climate, then they will come back and scold at their dad.
Thanks, Betty.
Yeah, is that too grim for you?
Well, the new thing, and I don't mind this one too much, but the new thing is that younger children are coming to a knowledge that there's no Santa Claus. And the reason why is the parents do not want to lie to their children.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new thing now. That's the new wokeness, which I don't care. I always hated Santa Claus. Why should he get credit for the stuff that I broke my back for to give my kids?
Well, you could put yourself in a Santa Claus suit and say, okay, here I am.
That's one thing I always disagreed with, was like the Santa Claus aspect. It broke my heart when I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, and I was like really young and naive, and I was like, why did everybody lie to me? And when I realized, I was like, my dad is the one getting me my gifts.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole Santa Claus thing didn't work when you live in an apartment tenement. I stood up all night and waited for that clown to show up. Never showed up. I had no chimney. So how does that affect me?
Chimney. Spell that.
Chimney.
We didn't have one either.
Nobody came through the window then, right?
Yeah, molester.
Well, the thing is, if you look at it, Christmas is all about Christ, right? He's the reason for the season. Santa Claus, if you break the word down, Satan's cause, is to take all the glory away from Jesus.
Did
So you
Pete
got
Shea?
this big fat red man in a suit
Did
giving kids toys.
Okay, thanks, Pete
Dude,
Shea.
that's not how that word breaks down, dude. That's not how words work.
Yeah, where did the L go? The L had to go
Don't worry
somewhere.
about the L. That don't fit into what I'm putting out. So you get
Hey,
rid of the L.
Neil, what does Santa mean? Generally.
It's just a joke. That's what somebody told me one time.
Yeah, but
We did last week. It's the Spanish pedo that goes to Holland every year. Santa Claus.
Do we want to have this?
Well, it's
So-
going to circle the drain, Betty. It's bound to, because it was circling the drain from the beginning.
Oh.
But you can't deny that Santa Claus
Oh,
takes
you
away the
started with
glory of Christ.
so.
Well, he started. Neil wanted to, interrupt the middle of your sentence with the beginning of his.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Betty.
I said you started with the chicken chucker. That's usually not a good start.
It's the 12 days of Christmas.
Anyway,
So
I shared my
gringy.
cousin's Guido Christmas in Master B. I don't know how to get it here, but.
See, you can look at it, you bunch of Grinches. You can always take that negative glass off.
Objection!
Objection on the floor.
Empty attitude.
I'm not a Grinch, please.
I'm not calling you Betty, actually. Yeah, I'm talking about
You
more
could
on
be
the
a
other
bunch
side
of
of the
Grinches.
pond. Yeah, a bunch, as in more than one.
Yeah. That means me too.
Yeah. Look at it. And all these things, you can kind of twist it. But who's twisting that, Neil? Only the devil is twisting that. All you see is joy in this time. And then some muppet comes along and says, Santa Claus, don't be happy. Don't celebrate all the good things with Christmas. Remind yourself of Christ. Interpret it meaning it's Satan's cause.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
just
way I took it. That's the way
that's what he
he told me it.
give him attention. And where's the attention should be?
Well, I was taught that it was Saint Nicholas. He was a saint that used to bring the Catholics, Roman Catholics.
Thank you, Neil. We could get onto that topic for a bit, Betty. A little sidebar. Neil thinks there's a difference between Catholicism and Roman Catholicism.
I looked it up, and the Protestants did have a problem with it. They did not want to be labeled in with Catholicism. They wanted Roman Catholicism to stand alone. I put it in Master B, but nobody picked it up and read it, I see.
Yeah, I seen it.
Catholic meaning universal, doesn't it? So there is a couple of other churches that themselves would refer to themselves as Catholic, but we now in convention refer to them as Orthodox. They would still claim that they're Catholic, I think, within their own doctrine, use that title. So the Greek Orthodox and some of the Russian stuff. And I think the Oriental would still say it's Catholic. But because I thought Neil was wrong, I said, so I went and looked it up. So there is that claim on their side, but we probably label it differently, like I say, as Russian Orthodox, but they would say they're Catholic, I think.
Yes. All right, well, done with that.
Chat.
Wait, super chat, super fluid.
Super fluid.
Supermodel.
Okay. Shatner's bassoon. Could be wrong, but I think the singing, gifting, and general merriment at this time of year comes from the Roman festival of Saturnalia.
Yeah.
No.
No?
AI. Tell us, AI.
Go ahead, AI. Thanks a lot, Shatner. Appreciate that. I think you have some cowbell here, but let's see what AI has to say.
That wouldn't preclude anyone from doing such things, because such things are moral goods.
We're not into any philosophy there, AI. We want to know if this is true or not.
It's specious reasoning at best.
It's spacious, Shatner's bassoon from AI here on the panel.
It's Saturnalia. Saturnalia was a feast of lights, and it was also a feast of that the sun would come up again after 3 days, right?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Well, just the time of the year, right? So
But yeah, exactly. So many people say, oh, it's because it's celebrating the sun as a god that Christians aren't allowed to do this. But remember, God is the one who put the signs in the heavens. So any interpretations about the sky representing God must be representing the Christian God, if he's the one who created those signs. So if you have a death and rebirth archetype in the sky, then it's clearly talking about Jesus. So celebrating Jesus with that sign would be more than adequate.
I don't think that he
agree
objects.
with that. I think there's nothing wrong with adopting same date and time if you associate the same meanings to it. So you call it Christmas, but it still is a very pagan the Baucus Saturnalia, very different. But that's not what's happened. When Christianity adopts that festival at that time, it has an additional meaning because it's at the winter equinox. So there's the 3 days of the sun being below. That is why it's picked as a resonance for Jesus as well. So it's part of that resurrection story that you get the additional acceptance, and why it helps spread, and maybe why that it's celebrated at this time. Makes sense if you're moving a religion into a different culture and it's taken over, and actually you want to take over that culture, then you want to adopt the times and change the meanings of the pagan rituals. And that, to me, what happened particularly in Northern Europe, because there is and the Roman world, that's the replacement, but it's replaced with, as AI said, that fundamental different Christian meaning of what the transit of the sun at the equinox now means. And
all right, Adam, put a
relates
cork in
to
it.
the
Adam,
resurrection.
Adam, put a cork in it.
Yeah.
Superfluid.
Okay. Tony Whitcomb. Santa's colored clothes came from the Amanita muscaria mushroom from shaman times, hence the flying reindeer that got high from eating the mushies. And happy Christmas to you all. X.
Take that, AI.
I'll have that one.
Absolutely. There's a bunch of nonsense that Jesus is actually a hallucination that was combined by the apostles when they all got high and tripped balls in this room, and they're like, "Oh man, what do you see? Oh, I see Jesus. Oh, me too. Oh, let's write it down. We're high." It's retarded.
I was pretty sure that Santa Claus's colors came from a Coca-Cola campaign back in like the 1920s or 30s.
That's what I heard.
Hey, thanks a lot, Tony. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, the Santa Claus we have today is a product of the Coca-Cola company. No?
They stole it.
I'm pretty sure it is.
They stole it from the Dutch. We had Santa Claus, that's Santa, Saint, right? And Klaus.
I'm saying the colors of Santa Claus.
And the saint had red colors on as a robe.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Santa Claus has red robes. So they stole it and commercialized it.
Well, this is a standard problem in logic. Similarities and correlations don't equal causation. So this thing is red and white. Therefore, everything else that is red and white in the history of man must have caused it.
Yeah. So
no, I was pretty sure it was actually like a campaign. Like there was a reason.
Yes,
like they like co-opted like both brands together.
Yeah, but first you have something, and then something other comes out of it. This is it. The idea was stolen and commercialized.
It could have been stolen, but I'm saying I'm pretty sure I've ran across information that they like partnered on it at some point.
Who are they?
The Coca-Cola company, and I can't remember who the other. There was like a thing on Discovery Channel or a History Channel about this. Now I know that could be like total, but I looked into it and it seemed like the information was pretty legit.
You can't do bro. You have to say objection, and then I say objection on the floor.
Objection.
Objection on the floor.
I just want to say that this highlights the entire reasoning that people have with persecuting people who celebrate Christmas is that they have all the speculation about causation and meaning, and they have no primary source documents or any logical form to their points. It's just protest for protest's sake.
I'm just saying I came across the information. I'm just asking questions. I'm not making
Objection.
like a
Objection on the floor, sir.
I could address this point. I agree with Betty. First and foremost,
Thanks.
Santa Claus is red and white, and he's not red and white for any other reason than he's dressed as a bishop. Yeah, he's a saint. He's given red garbs of a cardinal, isn't he? If you're looking at that, so he's got that star is very different to Santa Claus, which is red and white. Now, in the UK, he was green and white, I think early on is depicted, which would be more indicative of our green man, because it's that kind of imagery that's conjured up early on. I do agree, but I do think it's an urban myth that it was the Coca-Cola company that got it. I think it's more an amalgamation, an agreement, a commercial agreement over lots of things, probably led more of the fact that if you look at mainland Europe, he is painted more red and white than America may have been, and certainly say but even in the UK, he's red and white before Coca-Cola. So I don't know if that's like a good bit of advertising really by Coca-Cola that people bring it up. I could be wrong. I don't think so.
And where does the candy cane come from? What does that represent?
That's all.
Probably something satanic, Neil. I bet.
We
Something
don't have.
depressing.
No, I heard it was the Go ahead, Betty.
We only got the candy cane from you guys in America. We didn't have any.
Well, it's the shepherds, right? The staff, and the red and white is for the blood impurity. That's what I heard. That's what that represents.
Yeah. Well, the Bible basically has a different calendar where the beginning of the year starts in Nisan, right? The Jewish month of Nisan.
Yep.
Right? And they sort of measure that by the first sighting of the moon. So basically, that whole thing is being shifted, right? Because September is usually the 7th month. We already talked about that a couple of months ago, I think. So it would make sense that in the sign of Virgo, Christ would be born, right? Instead of this time.
Somebody in chat said Rudolph is the beast.
Well, what I heard was that
Santa is the whore of Babylon.
what I heard was that the where you got the April Fools from, right? April Fools jokes was because when they shifted, New Year's used to be celebrated on April 1st. When they shifted it to January 1st, a lot of people didn't buy into it and kept celebrating it on April 1st, and they were known as April Fools.
Sounds plausible.
That's my understanding.
Yes, me also.
I think the chariot also, the chariot with the sled and stuff, is that also not a pagan god that has the sun in a chariot and brings it on? Like with Thor and Wodan and the Nordic gods and stuff, they have that vision with that
Not
there is a
sure.
god that brings up the sun with the.
Where's our Nordic experts on the panel?
Where are the Nordic
Again, Betty, because
they
so
will come.
mumbly. I'm struggling
If
to
you
pick
build
up.
it, they will come.
Thanks, Betty. You're rumpusing all over Adam.
Yeah, sorry, I don't hear him.
I wish we didn't.
That's all I was asking you. Will you just make the point? Because you keep dropping out and I'm struggling to hear you. But
Okay, so interspersed in this Christmas celebration of us all questioning irrelevant minutia, I was watching a video last night. We were watching a video. We're not going to say who we are about this bass pond, and we're like, do. Okay, and then everyone in Discord, if you, I went ahead and shared this, and while we were watching this, right from this point forward, we've seen this. We said, "Oh, this is. Do you guys see that?" So let's.
I said that first, right?
Well, I noticed it too. I just didn't get to my mic
I
fast enough.
understand, but I said it.
Well, we both recognized it at the same time.
I
so.
said it first. I said, look at how the moon and the stars go up like in one accord.
So everyone see this. There's a big problem here for you heliocentric nutcases. Can anyone tell me what your problem is here? Try it again. Pull a J.
Yeah. Pull a J. So that's the moon, and Orion comes up.
It's not only Orion.
Mhm.
It's the moon and every single star in the background. They're all moving in unison. They're all in phase.
Yep.
Let's try it again. Pull a J. See that, folks? You have problems in Narnia with that heliocentric baltards.
Explain why, John, because maybe there's some numpties out there that don't.
I want to hear one of on our side explain why.
Did you?
Can I ask a question? Actually,
ask a question. We're looking for an explanation.
Explanations
No,
are
no.
explains, right?
I want to know what was that lit up and moved backwards, like in retrograde.
Like
there's
like shot across the sky this way. Might have been a plane.
No, it was from it looked like it was maybe a planet, but it didn't light up until it was like watch for it. Yeah, about where your marker is.
Wait a second. I'll try to stop it.
Shooting star comes down, John. From
I seen that.
Top frame and then down. I think it's the ISS.
Yeah, watch. Like all of a sudden, it lights
that
up.
one.
Yeah. Right
Planes.
there.
Yeah.
Because this is speeded up, right? So it's planes.
Yeah, this is a time lapse, so it could have been. We don't know. Now it's kind of getting off on the point. It's like asking what this is. You see this blue balloon?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was asking. What that is? Like, that just looked weird to me. The way it kind of came into light and then fades out right there.
That's a lens flare.
It's a lens flare.
Yeah, and there's another thing.
Oh, yeah, it could have been a lens flare.
Okay.
Yep.
So there was one that went real fast the other direction. Could have been a plane. We got something over here also. What's this doing? See how fast it went? Pew!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do. I'll pull a J. I'll just play. I won't stop it. See if you guys can catch it.
We are going to go again on tangents, right? We know that, right?
Yeah, we're not, because I'll focus us back real quick.
I hope so.
So there's one.
Great shot of Orion.
And there's two. Oh, there's one.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see? So one went this away, one went that away, and I think we got one more left.
I think there was one that was coming down as well.
Relax.
The thing is, to get this time lapse, right? It takes the whole night, somewhat, right? Or half the night. This guy has sort of had this on, so he moves this pretty fast.
Yeah. So we're not concerned with that, although we see some aberrations going every which way. But what we're focused on is, here you go, Betty. Shout out to Betty. What we're focused on is the moon and the stars. And they're all moving in unison, in phase. So here we go.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And the distances stay the same as well. See that?
Yep.
Between the stars, everything.
Yep. So there you go. We got big problems in heliocentric Shangri-La.
Is it still Shangri-La?
Yeah, you would think so. I would think that one could be parallax.
Yeah. Because those stars would be much further away than that moon that we are looking at.
It's just celestial refraction, that's all.
Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just a word, right? And that's supposed to give the explanation.
Yeah. So I just wanted to shift it back, just interspersed in the Christmas conversation with some issues.
I hope like that beautiful skylight.
It is. Let's do it one more time because it's so beautiful. I'll just let it run. Pull it, Jay. What's this cluster of stars up here? That caught my eye. See that?
You've got Orion's belt on your right-hand side, look.
I'm not asking about Orion's belt. I'm asking about this.
I believe that's a Messier thing.
Or Small Dipper constellation.
That's not the Small Dipper.
You get that cluster. It's also in Job. What is it called again? I forget the name.
You see this one? Sorry, I was covering it. This one right here.
Cassiopeia, but
Go back. I'm not an astronomer, but there you see it's almost like it's got 1, 2, it's almost like a sign. Like a signpost. That's it. All right. Let me go. I'll pull a fiver and then we'll just watch it one more time. You don't have to watch that. I was just asking just an arbitrary question about something. I haven't seen anything like that before. Pretty cool, guys. Not for you heliocentric baltards in Shangri-La. This destroys. This is just common observations anyone can make. You're finished.
Go back to that star constellation again.
Hold on. We had a couple people talking. Adam first.
Just pull up the star constellation again that you're questioning.
Okay. I'm not questioning. I just
They're questioning what it is, which one it is. If it, not, they're not saying they're not stars. I don't mean it like.
Right. Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I've never seen that before. So that doesn't mean anything. I just haven't seen it before. And this is taken in Greenbow, Alabama.
Yeah, David Weiss can explain it better than any other heliocentrist.
So Adam wanted me to stop it. You see it? This one right here. Let's go
See
back
it on the big screen.
Let's go back. There we go. Here we go again, Adam. It's gonna fade away.
isn't it
There's
the
a bit on
Pleiades?
this.
The Pleiades, right?
Yeah. I
think
don't.
so. Yeah, the little cluster of stars is the Pleiades.
I don't know. We have any astronomers on board?
I think she's right about that because I think I've actually got a picture of it.
What about this arrow right here? Arrowhead. You see that?
That's why I'm wondering whether that's part of
I think that
Sagittarius. But
one star is also connected to the Orion star.
You just rightly just over talk Adam right in the middle of his sentence.
I know that he was going to talk.
He was already talking.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't hear.
All right. But you see, I just noticed it. I didn't notice it before. I'm just noticing it now. Shit, let's go back.
Yeah, that star belongs to Orion.
What star belongs to
So
Orion?
you have Orion, right? And then that star that is sort of adjacent upwards that you pointed to with in the triangle. That one, yes, that's basically belongs to Orion.
Really?
Well, that's a cluster.
I know, but it's still it's sort of the staff of Orion.
Really? So this is Orion's belt down here, right?
Yeah.
And this is kind of farther away, but maybe we're not getting the whole picture. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the Pleiades, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Mentioned by Job, right?
Let's go back. Play
Here in Holland, you
constellation.
can only see in the night sky, early night sky, Orion in the wintertime. And later in the night.
Pretty cool. All right.
Yeah,
That's all I got for you. Unless you guys got anything else with this? You want to see it again?
Isn't it so sad that we can't see the stars so well that we could maybe in a place where there's less light pollution?
I don't think this was all that bad.
Yeah, but I've once seen when I was on one of the isles of Greece, the Milky Way, right? What they call the Milky Way.
Yeah, I've seen it in Montana.
Yeah, and there's hardly any place here in Holland where you can see that. There's no place basically because there's so much light. Even the lantern, the streets will sort of get in the middle.
Well, also when the moon's really bright like that, like when you have a full moon in the sky, it it actually does dissipate the amount of light you're able to get from the stars through a camera.
No way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, I mean,
Sorry, I'm just being a smartass.
I know you are. I can tell that. Jesus. But no. I think it's an amazing shot though.
It is, isn't it? It caught our eye. I'm saying our, not just Betty. I mean, duh.
You can't have it that I sort of said to look at this.
I was eating dinner.
That doesn't. Oh come on, that doesn't matter, right?
I had food in my mouth.
Why can't you just give me some credit? And I saw it first. Right?
Oh, but
Just
you
be
saw
that,
it.
right?
You saw it first.
See, you can't even get there, right? I mean, you get exposed this way, you know.
Yeah, you've been exposed, QE. Betty's seen it first.
By the way, somebody says, Jenna Massey says the triangle next to Orion is Taurus.
Is what?
Taurus.
So this is, see, I'm not up to date on the astronomers debate. So this is Taurus. The arrow is just, this is all Taurus.
Idea. I have no idea. It's too less of information for me.
All right, I find it interesting.
Objection then.
Objection on the floor.
This is the most fisheye lens I've seen in a long time. It's been a while.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
I think because we've got the passage of the moon center frame, I think you're getting perversion in terms of any parallax you would see.
No, I don't think. I don't think so. That has nothing to do with the parallax of this.
You would see the diversion anyways.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with it. Now, it may be distorted the way it's flowing, but it's not distorting the way it's... Go ahead. Objection on the floor.
The rate of change in the outside of the fisheye is different to the rate of change in the center.
Yeah, so you had the camera a little tilted.
Yeah, so what? It's not going to affect anything having to do with parallax. Adam.
I'm saying any effect, either none or there, is hard to say because of the effect of the fisheye.
Objection.
Objection on the floor.
Can I approach the bench?
You may approach the bench, Missy.
Can I slap this witness or not?
Slap that witness with a whisker biscuit.
Betty's taking it to another level.
Yeah.
I'll fix his parallax.
Stop trying to silence me.
I'm gonna
physical violence and a wet fish.
I'm gonna fix his parallax nonsense. Watch this. Watch this, Betty. I'm gonna fix that shit. All right, Adam. Here we go. Oh, are you seeing this, or do I have to share again? Probably have to share.
Somebody says that the Pleiades is in the middle of Taurus. Okay, that could be.
The Pleiades, that wasn't in the middle of Taurus.
So that triangle is a little bit bigger as you sort of drew it.
Thanks for
Objection.
Objection on the floor.
We're actually swapping between astrology and astronomy.
We're swapping spit in the shower. Okay, I got to change this. So here we go, Adam. This is for you. Friggin' knucklehead.
Did you call Adam a knucklehead?
As far as you know. Oh, not that one. Where'd it go?
Christmas. You not do that.
Here we go. Adam, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
There we go. All moving in unison. No fisheye lens, no nothing.
I got to take Adam's defense here because we were exposed to such nonsense on Nathan Oakley's show today. What do you expect him to do?
Shout out to Lunatic, right?
Oh, that's
point
right.
out
That's
that clearly my protestation was valid, as you've now provided evidence with the said effect removed. Yeah.
Thanks, Adam.
I'm saying I was questioning the validity of the evidence with it being so fisheye, but now we've got something. I'm struggling to make the stars out on this. I've got to be honest.
That's all right. You can take my word for it.
It's not as clear.
I understand
don't take
that.
anybody's word for anything.
Oh my God! Shut up.
Take my word for it. Yes, Austin.
Damn.
Lay off the glue wine. Lay off the glue wine. It's not yet time yet.
Yeah. So, shout out to Flatsy, who pointed out, shout out to Lunatic, because Lunatic from 24/7 is the one that I requested this, as he mentioned quite enthusiastically on 24/7 that he had a drone, and I said, my good sir, could you put that drone, that new drone you got, stationary and point it at the moon, and I need a time lapse, because I knew what was going to happen.
You didn't show the audience, by the way, QE. Nathan said it in the chat.
I'm not. Oh, sorry about that. Thanks, Nathan. Appreciate that. All right, let's go back. This video is from Lunatic 24/7. This kills the entire heliocentric Shangri-La Baltard spinning space monkey religion, because this is a stationary drone. It is a 25. I think he said 25-minute time lapse. Could have been more, but it's only 18 seconds. And it's from a stationary drone, and it has the moon. And I know it's hard to see here because the quality is not that good, but take my word for it. I can point out the stars here on my screen because it's got good resolution, but I understand, right? There's a whole bunch of stars that I could see them, and they're all moving in unison. That's one big problem. There's no parallax. The other problem is this shouldn't be happening with a stationary drone in the inertial reference frame. What should be happening?
The Earth should be spinning.
No. What should be happening with the moon and stars if the drone is in the inertial reference frame?
Stationary.
Not a damn thing. You're right. Exactly. So say bye-bye now to the heliocentric Shangri-La spinning ball space monkey religion with just this video right here. It's all over.
I was just going to ask you about that video before you played it.
It's all over, folks. Game, set, match. How you like that for flat earth proof?
Again?
Well, this isn't exactly a flat earth proof. It destroys the spinning ball space monkey. The spinning part. So it's not spinning.
And maybe you should show that to David Weiss.
If they're not spinning, then the whole thing with the going to the moon and calculating the stuff and whatever is also fake.
Oh, it all collapses. Everything collapses. Yep.
Do you know who supposedly came up with that math?
Math?
Well?
The math for taking the guys to the moon?
Yeah, cool.
Do you know who supposedly came up with that?
Your sister?
No, Jack Black.
Jack
Mother.
Black from the School of Rock?
Yeah, his mother.
Really?
And she was Jewish.
That's important.
No, that explains a lot.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, a bit of that going around.
Oh, there's a black woman that calculated the trajectory that they had to take off on the Earth to the moon.
Did somebody
they
say
made a whole movie about that?
Did somebody say there's a bit of that going around? Did I hear that back there from Australia?
Yeah, mate.
Go ahead, Betty. Sorry, I thought that was more important than what you had to say.
Which is not. They made a whole movie about black women being treated badly at NASA, but they were better at calculus than all the others, and they sort of calculated the trajectory from Earth to the moon. And it's called something with colors or something. Numbers coloring on, no, something like that.
So, Adam, objection on the floor. Where's your fisheye lens problem right here?
It's been resolved, hasn't it?
Thank you very much.
by the presenting of evidence without that issue that I had.
Fair enough.
So I have no
I'm glad
objection now, mate.
that
Like I said,
you-
I could look at that and you can say, look at the lens. It's so distorted that any claim you got to make, it requires extra stuff. But if you've got a perfectly nice lens, I mean, admittedly, there's no stars this time.
What?
No, I mean, I couldn't make them out. I could see a little cough where I'd coughed on the screen last week, clearer than I could the stars. But I suppose you can see it.
I'll bet you the people out there in YouTube land could see it.
So I'll happily accept that, and therefore objection removed, sir.
Sustained. You cannot approach the bench.
You need to be seated and shut up.
Bailiff, whack his pee-pee.
Is that something that is done in the Americas?
Oh, brother, here we go. I knew I shouldn't have said anything.
Numerous black women play crucial roles in the moon's mission, each showcasing brilliance and defying discrimination in a challenging era. Katherine Johnson, renowned mathematician, calculated trajectory paths for Apollo 11 and 13, ensuring the astronauts' safe return. The calculations were so accurate that NASA relied on them despite having computers at the time. Dorothy Vaughan, supervisor and programmer, led black human computers at NASA. A team of black human computers. This is hilarious. They analysed complex data, flight tests, and wind turbines, contributing significantly to early spaceflight. Given these jobs, in the face of the discrimination, got those jobs. Mary Jackson, initially hired research mathematician, faced racial barriers. She's overcome them though, hasn't she? Because what's she going to do? She's becoming an engineer. Undeterred, she took night classes and sued NASA for equal opportunities, paving way for other black women at the agency. See how that works. Yeah. Christine Darden, aerospace engineer, analysed data from early lunar missions, including lunar surface temperatures and radiation levels. Contribution helped engineers design equipment for astronauts. There you
go.
Thank you, Adam.
AI.
Yep. So, what do you guys think of that?
Excuse me.
Bullshit.
Well, it's just brilliant, isn't it? How to turn the bull. I mean, they were never shouting about this at the time. It's just like, how can we wokeify the nonsense of the moon mission?
Wokeify.
Let's have human computers.
Yeah.
Do you think they had that on the door, on the corridor where they all work? This is the black human computer department of NASA.
Yeah, and here's what Wikipedia has to say about Jack Black's mom. Judith Love Cohen was an American aerospace engineer. Cohen worked as an electrical engineer on the Minuteman missile, the Science Ground Station for the Hubble Space Telescope, the Tracking and Data Relay Satellite, and the Apollo Space Program. In particular, her work on the Abort Guidance System is credited with helping save Apollo 13. After her retirement as an engineer, she founded a children's multimedia publishing company, eventually publishing more than 20 titles before her death in 2016. Cohen was the mother of computer scientist engineer Neil Siegel, as well as actor and musician Jack Black.
Part of the indoctrination, huh?
Beautiful career, right? How is it that some people have everything and other people don't hardly get by? Huh?
Well, other people are motivated to make something of themselves, Betty.
Like you?
Here we go.
Oh, it's just a question.
No, like Adam.
Well, the thing is with music, for example, you have these guys that have hit after hit after hit. It's almost humanly impossible to get hit after hit.
So what are you implying, Betty?
Satan. They sold their devilish soul to the devil. And Satan is doing his work. Right?
Is that even possible? Because I used to hear that as a kid. All these rock bands sold their soul to the devil. Is it even possible to do that?
Well, no, because
I
you can
think it's a
always
metaphor for signing a contract.
you can always be saved, but there's people that really do that. I think yes.
Bob Dylan
Yeah, you
admitted.
can if you wanted to.
Bob Dylan admitted it on 60 Minutes.
Yeah, but didn't also the guy of the Beatles say that? What's his name? John Lennon.
No, he just said that they were bigger than Christ, and it was taken out of context. But that whole thing with the selling the soul to the devil and Bob Dylan, you know what caused Bob Dylan to go the other way, don't you? It was the death of that Keith Green. When Keith Green died in a helicopter accident, he was his mentor.
Yeah, I didn't go that far, Neil.
Well, I'll fill you in on a little information so you don't say silly things like that.
State silly things like that? How does that change his statement? Shut up, Betty.
I like it when you're being taught by
was
somebody.
walking with God, and Keith Green was his mentor, and he went down in a plane crash and lost his whole family, and he got angry with God and went the opposite way.
Well, that still doesn't change the statement now, does it?
I have to see this statement. I've never heard Bob Dylan say that.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah, he didn't. You never heard Bob Dylan say that? He said he sold his soul and
he now the interviewer
he said something. He said, not the God of heaven, but the God of this world, or something like that.
And he wasn't joking.
It was really weird.
And he wasn't joking. The interviewer.
Yeah, he wasn't joking. He was being like 100% serious.
Yeah. Well, that's only one case. There's been many other cases there, Neil. So I'm not going to bring those up today because this is Happy Christmas, Happy Holidays type of thing.
Yeah, and you'd have to show me a ritual that's
A ritual.
that you could do this.
That he sort of drew his blood and signed a contract? You mean that?
Exactly. Like I could show you a ritual when you become a made man.
Yeah,
Oh,
Here's
brother.
a ritual that takes place.
Well, those things happen in darkness, Neil. You know that, right?
Yeah. And we got Charlie Daniels
I can't
telling
argue
you.
with that.
We got Charlie Daniels telling you the devil went down to Georgia.
You're looking for a soul to steal. Oh, that song was that was big back in the day. What was that? 78, 79?
I don't know. What was Charlie Daniels' favorite color?
Chartreuse. And he was a chicken chucker.
No, he was a mother clucker.
An overclocking mother clucker. Definitely.
All right. So where do we go from here?
Well, I refuse to believe that because that indicts too many people I like. That indicts Leonard Skinner. That indicts the Beatles. That indicts a lot of people, and I'm not going to go down that road.
Yeah, you've been indoctrinated, Neil, to believe that these people are honest, but they are singing devilish songs.
I don't know if it's every single.
You need to repent.
I can't state that it's every single artist or band. I'm just telling you that there's certain bands, and it's not only rock and roll. There's other ones that are detailed. I don't want to say stories that are confirmed by disinterested parties. That's all I got to say about that.
I mean, if you know what the song's about and you understand it, but can you still enjoy it?
No.
Because I still like to go back and listen to some songs that I know aren't, they don't have a good meaning, but they just still kind of get me, like the music gets me riled up.
Like what? Who that smell?
No, ring around
no,
the
I'm
rosy,
not a Leonard
Neil.
Skinner fan at all. I like more punk rock type stuff, and I like the Misfits a lot. I like
that's wonderful.
Damn, what's his name? Oh,
What about the
I can't remember
Clash?
his name right now. He was one of the Misfits guys. He was one of their lead singers for one of their albums, and he was
Danzig.
Danzig. Yeah. I really like Danzig, but Danzig, all of his, if you really listen to the lyrics of his songs, they're all about Satan and Luciferianism.
Yeah. So if you dress up a turd, right, with like lettuce and an egg and whatever, would you eat it?
What the? Well, way to go abstract on us.
Well,
Wait,
that's
way to go
yeah,
non sequitur.
That's a heck of an analogy.
Answer the question.
Yes, but that means
the question.
Wow.
it means that if the message is totally wrong, why would you consume it? Basically, that's
Oh,
why I'm saying.
now we see
I'm
it.
a guitar player and I love the music.
I got you right away, Betty. I knew exactly what you were talking about.
I
Answer
doubt
the
that.
question.
Yeah.
Would you eat that piece of shit?
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Neil.
understand.
I'm gonna plug myself. I am also a guitar player.
Uh-oh.
Plug and play.
Well, I play the bass too. And
She's
I
a
still
plucking
enjoy
chicken chucker.
music. I enjoy Sting. When they started singing an Englishman in New York the other day, I enjoyed that when Nathan and Tinfoil Hat Man started singing it. I don't see anything wrong with it. They're artists.
What
Yeah,
we're
but that
saying here,
doesn't mean-
Neil, there could be some rooster in the
Subliminal
hen
message.
house type of deal behind closed doors.
Yeah.
So we know that
I know
rap.
that.
We know that rap is a problem, don't we, Betty?
Yes, we do. Huh?
Why you gotta go to rap?
Well, because
I
Betty
like it.
because Betty shared a video the other
TikTok.
day with a rap artist on it that was talking about friggin' demons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got a sort of a.
I know who you're talking about.
Go ahead,
Wait a
Betty.
minute. So he got a sort of a call that he said had to go backstage. So he sort of listened to that voice that he got. He went backstage, and when he saw another rapper rap, he saw some mystery, like shadowy figures coming out of his mouth and going into the audience. And he saw basically the audience get more wild, more the women more seductive, the men more violent, and eventually he heard shotguns. Right, so he was running out of that place and basically bawling his eyes out and thought, okay, it's maybe no good. And then he got a voice saying, well, so when you sing certain songs that portray certain things or how you feel will also come in to other people, right? So sing happy songs.
Thanks. Thanks, Betty.
Music, a musician. I understand what you're saying, and a musician broke it down to me. How music, you don't have to say a word. It has a meaning. It has a language of its own, right? Because you could play Jaws, dun 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 dun, dun, scared, frightened, right? And happy music. So it has its own language. I will agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it also can give you certain moods and mood swings and whatever, right? So when you are down and out, you tend to go and listen to these sad songs, but it only motivates you to be more sad.
So what was
And to kill yourself.
So
That's the
what was
eventual.
the primary character in the story? What was his profession in heaven?
Again?
What was the primary
Lucifer
character?
was the chief musician.
Oh, brother. So, Betty, what was the primary character that we're talking about? What was his profession in heaven?
Profession in him, he was a rapper himself.
He wasn't a rapper. His profession was what?
Are you interviewing me?
Worship.
He was in charge of the music in heaven, Betty.
Oh, sorry, I was still
Yes,
thinking that you were
Lucifer.
talking about the guy in that video. So I was really off topic.
It also describes him when it says the pipes were built in his back.
I didn't
I
want
thought
to.
that was the funniest rebuttal ever, Betty. What was Satan's role in heaven? He was a rapper.
Yeah, that's what she said. He was a rapper.
Oh, yeah.
Lucifer was a rapper?
See, that's how the
Well,
gospel.
if you take Isaiah, it always says, "I'll exalt myself above the heavens. I'll be like the Most High." I guess you could turn that into a rap.
That's a rap.
Yeah,
I
it could
think
come.
God was a rap for him.
Just to bring it back to Christ, you Satan gathering lot. I've just listened. Neil, I posted my Christmas tree and the front of my house. Yeah, and
Where
all
at?
the houses like that. I've put it in the
Ballbusters.
Ballbusters text chat. Yeah.
Can I show it?
Yeah, by all means. When I say that tree, my boy was so excited to get the tree up early, and he's what, 19? Yeah, he's done all the outside. I didn't have to do the outside this year. I didn't have to go up a ladder. Thank God. I hate ladders. Not good with heights.
Me either. My boys did it all.
Yeah. But he's been, like I said, been calling him Christmas monkey, mate. Christmas Bay, just buzzing. Yeah. Excited. He set up the bar already for me. I've not had to do out. So,
Sounds like you're getting old, Adam.
My God, you gave me. It's so small, and then when I open the browser, it's massive. So.
What is it again? What are you talking
Nothing
about?
I could do about that. So you're not. It's not getting shown. I don't think.
good, because you'll have to excuse the front of the drive. I've only just had the steps built and tarmacked, but so I've not planted or there's not even a safety rail. Your father-in-law's fell off them steps already, Kiwi.
Well, let's go.
Adam, I fell into all of that.
Let's try it.
Not. Sorry. Go ahead.
Let's try it. There you go. You're not going to see it in Discord. They'll see it on YouTube. So you're talking about these steps coming down like a half a U.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So whose place is this?
That's the front of my house.
Look at look at this.
I'm already.
That's what I said. That's what I was saying before, Betty. He's uptown. Look at this. I mean, he's got no worries.
It's not in Discord that I can't see it yet.
You can see it on YouTube though.
Yeah, but it needs time. It takes time. Oh yeah, there it
In
is.
Ballbusters text chat bay.
Yeah, but that okay. Kind of small, isn't it?
I wouldn't say Adam has no worries.
And this is
Oh,
inside.
many worries, mate.
This is inside. This is your tree.
When you're a boss, Neil, you don't just worry about yourself.
Looks so cozy and nice.
It's a little bit.
said.
Oh
No,
God.
I said I wouldn't say Adam has no worries. Dewey said you had no worries.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks for squaring that away. Oh, we got Bob Dylan in here too. But we'll get back to that in a moment. Did you go a little bit? Are you with the tree with the ornaments? You obsessed much?
I don't do the tree. I don't do the tree, but that's how the tree gets done.
And the stars below is it? I mean, I felt very symbolic yesterday. What about today though? With what's the stars down here? What's that?
I think that's just like what women do, isn't it? You know.
What did
look on the fireplace? Look on the top of the fireplace.
Yeah,
There's a
I
couple of
was
Christmas
just.
ornaments lined up and
I was thinking that was the
organised
microwave.
there.
Just be patient. I was working my way up that direction.
I thought it was the microwave.
Yeah, by the Christmas tree.
It's a gas fire. Hey.
It's hard to see, Adam.
You can't use gas no more because that's bad for the environment.
Oh, it's not.
I know, but they tell us here that.
Is that a real donut?
Donut.
Looks like a
Well,
donut.
no, it's a donut. Yeah, exactly. It's a donut, but it's an ornament. There's loads of different things on there that we've collected over the years.
Let's see. Let's go to let's not. Forget that.
Well, hey guys, I'm about to hop out of here. Man, it was great jumping on. This was my first time on here tonight, and it's good talking to you fellas and ladies.
Okay.
Come back.
So everyone have a great night.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. God bless you all.
You too. Oh, that was nice.
All right, let me review this Bob Dylan.
You're still out here doing these songs, you know, you're still on tour.
All right, let's check this out. Let's go ahead and go to a full browser.
This is another one of these things, right? You know, like last week I was going on about Bible believers, etc., etc. I won't go into. This is another one, right? So, in my logical head, yeah.
Do you have
Somebody says, "There's the devil." Here's
Objection on the
deal.
floor. Objection, Betty.
Do you have a logical mind?
Head, Betty. Logical head.
No, but prove it.
Okay, sorry about that, Adam. We had to get that in there. Go ahead, Adam.
Let me rephrase it. In the perverted way that my mind works.
That's better.
I didn't think I'd get an objection there.
No, you could.
It's a bit like the whole Satanist bag. If you recognise Satan, you recognise God. So on what point would you go, I know, I'm going to pick that losing side. And it's the same thing. Why would I sell my soul if somebody's offering that? That's what the price is. And there's clearly a soul. Therefore, what kind of freaking idiot would go for the immortal pain?
The more short-term advantages versus long-term security.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it leads me to: is it?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Do they even believe it at the point that they accept the deal?
Yeah. Now we got the robot back. He's gonna rumpus and everyone.
Metal Mickey's here.
What's up, Neil?
He's already gone because you chased him away.
Good. All right.
Adam, one of the reasons is that Christianity at large, many people in it have failed to preach the gospel unadulterated, and they preach works-based salvation and all kinds of onerous burdens that humans find that they can't achieve. And so they basically have no idea whether they can be saved or not. And if they can't be, then it's a 50-50 shot. At least if they go with Satan, they have a guarantee during this life. So might as well go for it.
There you
I
go,
don't think
Adam.
that most people don't even believe that it exists.
We couldn't hear anything. Betty and Adam. Betty first.
I don't think that that's the case. I think in all cases, let me say it that way, because I think there's also people that think, well, I'm just. It seems that the devil is more powerful than God, and they sort of switch things around, right? They make the God of the Bible be the bad guy and Satan be the good guy.
Is that it, Betty?
Mm-hmm.
Adam.
God, to AI's point, I'm not looking at the failings of Christianity, the lack of education. I'm saying if you get to that point where Dylan's offers there, what are you gaining? If you recognise there's an afterlife, at what point is any reward in this life worth any trade for the real life? Yeah? If you recognise that paradigm exists, you've got to be fully retarded because you've been given proof.
They're like the sin
No.
lord. They like.
Listen, they've already abandoned the idea that they will be one of the redeemed. So if you're not going to be one of the redeemed and live with eternal life in heaven with God, then your only life that you're ever going to live is here on earth, because after earth is eternal death for you. So that means that you can either live a mediocre life, just, of your own devices, doing the best you know how, or side with a powerful entity that's going to give you pleasures and power and fame. So if you say, well, I'm going to die eternally anyway, so I might as well go out with a bang. It's perfectly rational.
Okay, you can rationalise it that. So I ask a Satanist, right, what happens if I turn to Christ? What happens, whatever I've done, turn to Christ. Is the Satanist able to behave like a baller and deny that, or do they deny that? That's what I'm saying. Is there, if you set up the logical paradigm that there is good and that God exists, and you've given proof that God exists, at what point do you go, which team do I go with? Team God, team loser, ultimate loser? That's my point I'm making. How are they? How are they rectifying that? I can't rectify whatever I got, even if I got a record contract. As a rapper. Why would I take that in the short term? ultimately if I've just been given proof that there is a long term. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Well, I told you that their long term is already set in stone. They're going to be damned. So if you know you're going to be damned when you die, the best thing you could ever do is enjoy life as much as possible while you're alive.
But they're not damned.
That is
So
the
why
only
do they
rational
think they're
choice.
damned? Are they saying they don't
They
believe that
think
there's
they're
a way
damned.
out?
They think they're damned because they don't understand the gospel. That's why. They think that their
That's what I'm
sins
saying.
are too much for God to forgive.
Yeah.
Is
They think
that the
they are
doctrine of the
unredeemable.
Satanist? Because it's not the doctrine of a Christian, is it? It's not the doctrine of Christ.
Well, I'm just providing you a rationalization that someone could easily make the decision. I'm going to side with Satan during this life because I know I'm screwed anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty clear, Adam.
However, there is another way to look at it. There is another way to look at it. Right. So when Satan initially made his claims, right, his three great claims, I will ascend, I will do this, I will.
No, those are the five
whatever.
I wills. There's not three. There's five I wills. But go
okay.
on.
Yeah. So those things, like, it seems from the text that he actually believed he could accomplish those things, which means he did not understand God. He did
Yes.
not understand that God was the source, that there's no overthrowing him, period. Like, you can't create a laser with quantum super magic fart energy and blast God in the face and kill him. It can't be done. If you think it can be done, if you bring God into his creation and make him subject to the forces of the universe where you could actually overthrow him and defeat him, then and only then do you have a plausible chance.
Correct. Well said. He thinks he
Now,
can
by the
win.
way,
You don't understand him.
yeah, let me finish that up, Neil. By the way, there are many people in the Flat Earth movement who have started to bring God into the creation via certain theories, to where God necessarily is contingent with the creation. In other words, he's part of the universe, not external to it. Which means, in principle, he can be overthrown.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. That's what he thinks he can do, especially with the five I wills. That's what he's promising everyone. I've been down this trail. I closed the door on it like 12, 13 years ago. But you're all over it. That's correct.
Yep.
Still very weak excuses to pick team loser.
Well, he's convinced them. So we want to hear Bob Dylan here? I haven't heard this in
Well,
years.
I think that's important, yeah, because if he says something, because I'm being sarcastic, there has to be an underlying reason, and that has to be denial.
Let's take it back. I got to
the
share
ultimate
it.
finish. And I didn't think that Satanists denied the ultimate finish.
They still think they can win.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
There's gonna be an end battle in the
Well,
end.
there's two options. There's two options, Adam. You either think you have a very reasonable chance of winning, or you know you've lost already. So if you can win, then it's worth fighting for. If you know you can't win and you're going to be condemned, then all you could do is just live it up before you get smashed.
Yeah, we heard that 5 times. Everyone got it. Adam's just being insolent. I don't know why. We got it. It's pretty easy to understand.
I want to make one final point.
But it's the higher ones that think that he can be overthrown. Your average Joe and Betty and probably even Bob, I don't think he's aware of that.
Right. Let me draw the distinction. Thinking he can be overthrown, the higher ones or not, still doesn't negate whatever you've done up until this point, that Christ is still there for you. Redemption is still there.
And there's many people that will be saved, even if they have gotten their souls.
Yeah, that's true. But what's his point? What's Adam's point? They don't realize that, Adam.
Yeah.
Exactly. They don't
And there's
realize that
too
Christ
few
can forgive them.
laborers in the field, right? Get people the truth.
All right, we ready to listen to this? I might have to stop it. It's 41 seconds. I don't know about Louis Branco. Hey, Neil, do you have any connections with Louis Branco?
It looks positive because it's got Robo.
You're roboting again, Neil. Sorry I asked. I'll stop it just in case. Here we go. Y'all with me on Discord? You should be. I'm sharing it. Let me turn it up. I'll go there. All right, here we go.
You're still out here doing these songs, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back
Why are you still out here?
to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, a long time ago, and
So he said he made a bargain with it a long time ago.
I'm holding up my end.
And he's holding up his end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
He made a bargain with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
On this earth and the world we can't see. Uh-oh.
Bob Dylan has been nominated.
Got a problem. Objection.
Objection on the floor.
No objection. There's no objection there. That's cut and dry. Wow.
Neil objected to my objection before I've presented the objection.
You can't object to an objection. You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
So you've heard it at least.
Go ahead, Adam.
I get a J on that because there's two claims. I've got no problem scripturally with the God of this world.
I am now.
Should I ask who you made?
Hold on a second. Let me go back.
A long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
So he made a bargain with the chief commander. Now, I forget his name.
On this earth?
Yeah.
Specifically, the question's phrase, yeah.
And on this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
Right, that's my objection. Scripture, I've got no problem with Satan being defined as the God of this earth, right? But not in the realm we can't see.
Well, he thinks he is.
But there is the get out clause that he uses the phrase chief commander.
Yes.
Which is not necessarily non-commensurate with Satan's role back in the day.
I don't know. He's the chief commander of this world.
Well, that I've got no objection to. But
that's who he's talking about.
Aaron says this and the unseen.
Yeah, that's who he's talking about.
Well, that's a false claim to me. I've got no problem with him making the claim that said he's made a deal with the chief commander of this world.
Yep.
As it sits right now.
Yeah, and then you're going to make the same statement again that he's not the chief commander of the unseen world.
Well,
and I'm going to tell you that he thinks he is.
Okay.
Got it? It's pretty easy to discern this.
I'm not. I think I was trying to pick out a more pertinent point than what you're saying. All that I didn't think, but I understand.
Yep, you got it.
That.
Yeah. Go ahead, Adam. Finish up.
No, that was it. I didn't get what the point you were making. I understand it now.
Okay. Go ahead, Betty.
No, I was being a smart ass.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so it's pretty clear. I remember seeing this lot. Oh, brother.
It's Metal Mickey's back.
I remember it was after Neil. Cease and desist. I remember seeing this live. It was after a football game because 60 Minutes would come on after the football games, right? And I remember it was a long time. I don't know where this came from. How many years ago? 1 second. It's not going to say. I don't know when this was, but it was a long time ago. And I was sitting there, And I kind of like Bob Dylan songs, and I was back in the day when I was a heathen, as far as you know, and I was dumbstruck by his behavior and the way because this guy over here, the 60 Minutes guy, thought he was joking. This guy, he thinks he's joking, but he's not. But Bob's not joking. He's serious as a heart attack. That's what I got.
Therefore, objection.
Objection on the floor.
Objection to every comment I made earlier about me not understanding. I kind of grasp it now. He's made that statement. One I had previously questioned with. He clearly believes Chief Commander is Satan overall. I get it now.
Yep. And he made a bargain with him, and he said he's holding up his side. So yeah, I think it's pretty cut and dry. Like I said, it gave me shivers when I seen it live. I said, "Oh shit."
Yep.
Yeah, I can remember shivers and saying, "Oh, what did we get ourselves into?"
Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of women that also said it. I think one of these famous ones. Whatever, these guys, these women.
You'd have to state them. Like I said, I dropped this and put a cork in it long ago and never to return.
Yeah,
because
listen to the music.
This isn't even 1/10,000 trillionth of it, right?
Yep.
So you better have, if you want to go down this road, if anyone's listening, you want to go down this road, you better go to Scripture and you better have the full armor of God, because it is, how would I want to say it?
Serious.
It's so evil. It's evil beyond evil. If that's, it can encapsulate it. I don't think it does. But like I said, I went down there, right? Because I had to know. And just let me tell you something. Don't do it. Unless you have the full armor of God, don't even step into this genre. I'm telling you right now. That's all I got to say about it.
Exactly.
Can I ask a question?
That's all I got to say about that. Go.
Could that have to do with when Lucifer took Jesus up to the mountain and
Could
said,
all
what
have to do with what?
Well, as far as selling your soul, because he did say all of this was given to me, and I could give it to whoever I want. Just bow down and worship me.
Yes.
It's a play on that. Yes.
Well, that's exactly it. People being distracted from go to the true faith, right? That's why he tried to tempt Jesus, so he tempts all other people to give him all in their kingdom. They only would worship him, and they think that he comes through with all kinds of powers and whatever in that musical area. They get rich, they get famous, they get all that they want, but they don't understand that basically the devil is a liar, and he will never give them a place in hell next to him, right? Yeah, maybe under him, very far under him.
Yeah, and the kingdom on earth is only short-lived.
Yep. Yep. So that's basically one of the temptations that every person on earth has to go through, right? Don't tempt God, but also don't sort of worship the devil.
Well, I would say that even presented with the alternative, they don't want to learn about the truth. They would rather love the sin. And the point that, his people perish for, lack of knowledge.
Right.
It all
There's
ties
pleasure
in.
sin for a season, right?
Yeah, because you're always looking for something to fill. There is a God-sized hole in everyone, and everybody's looking to fill it. Just, you got to know how to do it. You got to learn. Also,
and sometimes it sort of pays off to be bad more easily, right? Because you see bad people having high positions, much fame and riches.
Yeah.
And
Also,
you
in a
see that when you're honest, you're being paid like to
right,
go to jail or whatever, right? It doesn't pay off to
or
be.
yeah. I think that God's people are tried more, and it's better off if you can make it through the trials.
Yep. A little tribulation.
Sorry, my son distracts me sometimes. But I was gonna say another thing, alluding to what's going on in flat Earth recently. That in Ephesians it says, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now
Don't
worketh
tell me they're
in
trying
children.
to push Easter.
Yeah, the children of disobedience. I don't know. Just a food for thought. I'm not going to say anything else about it.
Is it not
Well, the prince of power
God's
of the
will?
air is Lucifer, Satan.
Yep. He's the accuser, right? Satan means the accuser.
Yeah,
Right,
you
but he is
scammers.
also
Scammers.
the prince of the power of the air, and look what we got with all of this internet, right?
Neil, you conspiratard.
You see what happens when a Dave Weiss video is played? You see?
Sends you mad, doesn't it? Sends you bonkers. Laugh at him.
What did Dave Weiss do now?
He wants a neutral
I'm
outcome,
not
Betty.
bothered about David White.
Of course.
Can I respond to what Platzi said?
Objection!
Objection on the floor.
I heard some rumpusing, and I didn't hear you, Kiwi.
I know. He rumpus me straight away. I was 5 seconds in when he started on his little rant.
Yeah. Haven't started yet. Asked if I could respond.
Yeah, you asked if you could respond when I was in the middle of it. So, Neil and everyone is upset because David Weiss, shockingly, turns to story time with the Baltard and wants to end in a neutral outcome, if I can summarize it. He wants everything to end neutrally.
So now we live on a triangle.
Yeah, where there's no affirmation or confirmation of anything. It just ends with nothingness. On story time, storytelling, with his non sequiturs, and all he talks about is the globe. Well, if you had the globe, it's insidious because it's like, okay, if you had a globe, then this would happen, but this globe, and goes into non sequiturs about how is the light shining on something. It's ridiculous. I mean, another part of it is that he uses below 2015 level arguments against the globe, which is ludicrous at this point in time in 2023, almost 2024. Since we could dash out those points relatively quickly every time a Baltard, you know the routine. You know, but he doesn't. He entertains their questions and then goes on to more or less kind of in a sense support the veracity of the Globetard. Okay, Adam, the floor is yours. What were you going to say?
But before Neil subverted the comment via 2 right angles into that.
Yeah.
I don't. It to do with scripture, to be fair, and what Flatsy was saying, but it's kind of moved on.
We can move it back. As long as I satisfied her query.
Yep.
Her
But you
query's
didn't
been
tell her about the sentient stars.
what?
You didn't tell her about how stars are sentient.
Oh God, yeah. He said, okay, this is one of the examples, Betty. For some strange reason, he got into this position without, because I briefly listened to it, earlier today. Don't know the background. However, they got into stars, and he said that he thought the stars were sentient.
Wow. And what is his proof for that?
He said he thinks that the stars are sentient. So obviously, there's no proof forthcoming after that statement.
Hmm. Okay.
So-
Well, yeah, he can think that, right?
You could test it, couldn't you?
To see if
But
they
you-
cry.
Star. If you're sentient, blink.
No, just
No, the stars blink.
just
Then if it twinkles, it's telling you, yeah, I'm
blinking
sentient.
for
Look, give
them.
me a little wink.
You could say that that's blinking.
Oh.
No?
No, you can't. But you can't do it
No.
that way. You can't do it that way.
Why not?
Hold on, Betty.
Are you
But
eating?
if it doesn't blink, then you
Yes.
know it's not sentient.
No, you could play a dirge or something. It's a sad song, and see if it cries.
Some like Blue Bayou.
That that's what sentience means, Betty. Sentience means the ability. Are you still heckling back there?
Yeah, so it's the ability to cry, right?
No, it's the ability to perceive emotion.
Okay, so a narcissist can also be sentient then.
Define narcissist.
You?
Oh, son of a.
You fell right into that one.
Betty, that was a good one. I couldn't get to the mute button fast enough.
I'm gonna get to the mute button real fast on the both of you. Oh, do you know what sentience means, Betty?
Not really, the way you explained it.
I mean, it's not an explanation. It's just a definition of sentience.
Again, what's the definition? Run it by me again.
It's the ability to experience feelings, emotions, and sensation.
Okay, also a sense of humor?
You know what? When they brought this subject up, I thought about that.
Humor?
I thought about that, and I thought about your little animal thing. Right?
Yes. You know me so well that I would not let this go.
And
go
now
right
I
back.
just thought of it because
what?
I remember on Oh Brother, Where
What
Art
animal
Thou?
thing?
Because shut up, Neil. We're in a conversation. So I remember on Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? When that one of his buddies was with those three vixens, right? That's the last time they seen him. And then when they got back to him, there was nothing but his clothes, and a bullfrog was on there. And the gentleman said, well, the frog, it's barely sentient. And that's when I remembered that Betty said that certain animals, well, maybe all animals, have a sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this doesn't apply, Betty.
Why not?
Because it didn't say humor. It had sentience is the ability to experience feelings and sensations,
Well,
not
is humor
specifically, not exhaustively, not definitively humor, Betty.
No, but isn't feelings also humor?
No.
No, you don't
No.
feel humor. When you feel humor, when you laugh, you don't have any feelings.
You don't
then.
feel humor.
Well, in your case, that might be the case.
You
right?
don't feel humor, Betty. That's non
Yes,
sequitur.
we do. Yes, a sense
what?
of humor.
No.
Sensing humor.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Humor's supernatural, isn't it? Which is why
According to
it's so
QE,
beautiful when you see
You're getting-
animals express.
Objection. Objection on the floor. Betty's
You may
rumpusing
approach the bench.
Betty's rumpusing, and she's still rumpusing. There's an objection.
I'm the judge now. The judge can never rumpus.
Go ahead, Adam.
Objection, Your
supporting
Honor.
you, but
Oh, God. All right. Adam's first.
I was supporting Betty
Thanks.
in saying that I thought it's supernatural to me. There's no predefined set of rules, even. It's in there in your psyche what's funny. Yeah? Why a fart is funny. Anywhere across the world it is. But nobody said, look, this fart means laugh. And there's a background, and when animals get involved. My dog, right, used to fart. Jasper, right? And he stunk, yeah, because he had cheap tin dog food because we were dead poor. And he'd fart, and then he'd turn around, look at it, and go, and walk out the room and leave you to it.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
Now,
but
that was funny.
That's a funny dog.
Yeah, that's hilarious, but he wasn't laughing.
Oh, mate, he was. That's why he laughed. Went out the room going, I'm leaving you with that.
My dog does the same thing. He knows what he did.
Prove it.
And he thinks it's funny. Which is why he looks at you. He can't laugh because he hasn't got the same muscles in his face. But he shows you he's being sarcastic because he looks at his arse, blows, and looks at you, and then walks out. That's going.
I'm blaming you, right?
Yeah, it's like he's saying, you want to give me this cheap food? Take that, you cheap son of a bitch.
Thanks, Neil. Now we're completely off topic. But back to David Weiss, he said he thought that he thinks that the stars are sentient, Betty. That's what he said. That's one of the examples of just the ludicrousness, just abject buffoonery.
Yeah. He always was a little like new agey kind of guy, like pretty loose, pretty like we call it floaty in Holland.
Objection!
Objection on the floor.
That may have been okay in 2014, 15, 16, even 17. But after 1st Jan 2020 and on, that's no longer acceptable. It's ridiculous.
According to who? Who's the judge?
You are.
Okay, Betty, do you know what the guy's comment was right after that? The guy who was speaking to said, well, you may have lost everybody now. They probably all left. This is what you want? You want to push people away instead of giving them flat, outright proof?
Yeah, Neil, but you can't hold back these people. That's what I'm saying. There's nobody that we can sort of call on to like a judge or something to get him.
A neutering order.
Well, we have that already. It's woke.
So you're happy then, Betty, with people realizing it's not a ball and then being told that stars are sentient is the
Yes,
next
but
path.
I'm not happy with that,
You're happy
Adam.
with
But that means that I'm still not able to run the world by muting anybody else that doesn't agree with me or that has other feelings or ideas. Because that would be that I will be living on my own on this whole, right?
Totally separate point to whether or not they're a pile of lying dickheads or not, and whether you've verbalized
show,
that.
Adam.
I appreciate their right to be lying dickheads.
It's a family show, Adam.
Yeah, well, lying phallus heads then, yeah.
Do you think that's
but
bad?
Betty, he's a guy that's at the forefront. He's supposed to be the leader.
I don't see him in the leader. I hardly ever see him.
Okay, but so you think it's perfectly reasonable and helps everything if there's people out there who are at the forefront and the message they're pushing is it's not a ball because here's all the reasons it is a ball and stars are sentient. Or
Did you listen to what I said?
I don't know. All I'm wanting to hear is no. They're damaging us.
I already said no.
I've heard the reason that they.
Wait a minute. Everybody there are some politicians that are in the forefront that I don't agree with. What are I going to do with those people?
Do you think that they should tell the truth as well?
Should we kill them?
Or should they just be? They should have the right, and we should have to have the dissonance.
We can only do and influence what we can influence, and that's make our community.
I'm not asking
better.
you about what you can influence. I'm asking you your opinion.
We cannot do anything about David Weiss he's his own person and he has a right to be here.
You have an opinion on his
That
behaviour.
he has an attachment. That he
Neil,
has an
Neil,
I have
Neil,
no
thank you. Neil,
attachment.
you don't need to add on Betty. There's no need for that, is there? To attack Betty.
I don't have
I'm
any.
asking-
I sense an attachment.
No, I have no attachment. I said
You
to you
sense, do
earlier
you?
on
Are you a Jedi?
that I don't
You a
listen
Jedi?
to the guy. I don't even notice the guy.
Not the point.
Neil,
That's not the
Neil,
point.
Neil,
Hold on a second.
Neil,
Shut up. Shut up. Stop over talking to each other. It's friggin' aggravating.
Yeah, agree.
So, Adam, just
Neil.
state your. Hold on a second, Adam. Just state your point clearly, and everyone, shut the hell up. Go ahead, Adam.
I appreciate they're entitled to that, and I appreciate that people like. I'm asking you, do you think that that way in which we're being represented by the main prominent flat earther right now,
I
with
don't
all
feel
his hard work,
represented
I
by
agree
him.
with that.
Betty, did you let him finish?
Yeah, but I don't feel represented, so he's
Then
misrepresenting
just
me.
wait till he's done and then correct him.
No, but you don't either when that happens. So I don't either too.
Oh, brother.
If that's any sense.
I'll try and take it out of any context so I can keep the question specific, so as not to misrepresent. Then, Betty, are you happy with the way in which the most prominent flat earther out there is representing flat Earth?
I don't see him as a prominent flat earther. That's one. And I can't hold him back, even if I wanted to. But I don't
Like-
I sense that it's not wrong what he does, right? But I can't do anything about it. I can only influence what I can influence on my own, right?
Could I ask the question again because you've not answered it?
I answered
Are
it.
you? No, you didn't. You told me what you could and you couldn't influence. It's a direct question as to you as a sentient being. Are you happy with the way in which I'll take away the platitudes to David Weiss in terms of problem? Are you happy when you see David Weiss representing flat Earth with the things he says? Are you in agreement with them, or is it a
I'm
little
not in
frustrating?
agreement with
Is
them
that
if he misrepresents it.
There it is.
you're not in agreement? How does
No.
that make you feel? Then you're this non-agreement that
I'm
you have
crying
with him.
every night in my bed to sleep.
There you go. It actually makes you cry at night. I mean, it doesn't affect me that much, if I'm being honest. It just pisses me off that all the hard work we've
You know,
done
that was
is
sarcasm,
being
right?
derided by this muppet.
Did you
claiming that
understand
stars
that
are
that was
sentient.
sarcasm?
He did, Betty,
I
but
know,
he
it
wants
was
to
the opportunity to drop in a.
Go ahead, finish.
Alrighty, guys, I gotta go. You all have yourselves a Merry Christmas, and I'll catch you around.
You too, sir. I need to go too, but I can't.
Objection.
It's pretty
Yeah,
clear.
you started this shit thing.
It's pretty clear that Betty is not happy about it, but there's nothing that she can do about it. So
Pretty clear she's got a crush on David Weiss.
it's that's pretty clear.
Oh my
Pretty
god,
fucking
that's so
clear to me.
bad, you guys. That's the
Man
only
can,
thing
man
you
can do no
say.
wrong, Neil. Man can do no wrong.
Give
Unfreaking
Betty some
believable.
credit. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Really wow.
David Weiss?
Is that
You
called
wanna go on his
gaslighting?
boat, don't you? You want to go on his boat? I know your game.
Ah, you want to go on his boat?
That's it.
Sure.
On his boat.
Because Betty is a woman and she's like a slut and will go with anybody.
Yeah, that's what he was insinuating, Betty. Yes.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, exactly.
You're off the
Who's
rails.
laughing? Neil, jeez,
You're
man.
off the rails. This is supposed to be about Jesus. Where have we gone?
Yeah, you guys brought me there, right?
On the boat.
I would say no
On the
room
boat.
for you. No room for you guys, right?
You brought me here, and Adam goes on the boat.
You stumbling blocks, you.
Yeah. So can we move on from David Wise?
Well, I can bring it back on track because I fell into that stupid nonsense that Christmas is not supposed to be celebrated. It's not when Jesus was born, with all of that whole nonsense. And then I said, wait a second. If the whole world is going to recognize a certain day when the Messiah is born, who am I to take it away? I don't know the exact date, but I'm going to celebrate it on December 25th, and that's it.
I know the exact date.
9/11?
Yep.
Yeah, I heard about that. The star, right? Hold over. But isn't that
2
something
weeks
else?
on Thursday.
I believe that, and that's why they had that whole 9/11 nonsense going
Duh.
on. So how can anybody really celebrate his real birthday?
Duh.
Does it matter?
Preemptive strike.
Yep.
Does it matter? Does it matter
What?
if you've got the right date, or does it matter that you take time to celebrate?
True.
What's the most?
True, but I don't know. Does the
I think that was Neil's point, right?
does the end justify the means?
No.
Well, it mattered to someone to tarnish it like that.
Yes, it did. Good point.
Yep.
Yes, and look at how it came out. Look at how it happened. It's insane.
Early
When that
Christian.
first
What,
was
no,
brought to me that it was on 9/11, it like threw me for a loop. Like, wow, that's why this event took place.
Yep. And that's in September, right? So we know now the birthday of Jesus Christ.
Do we?
And I wouldn't put it past them to
Oh,
put
no, that's
that
a
out.
bold claim. That's a really bold claim.
Because the star, you could track every star, right? They can tell you what was going on at this date, what star was where, right? That's how I understand they tracked it. That there was a certain star, and that was the only time. Huey, help me here, because I heard the same thing.
The detail's outstanding for me to nail down the birth date of Christ.
I'd have to go back in my research. It would take me a while to get back there, but yeah, I could do it.
Yeah, first, you're gonna have to prove which star is which, and that is the star.
That's not that. Which star is this and that and that?
Never mind, just giving me a GP of some random star on a date that you've already prescribed because of bias.
What the hell are you talking about?
What did it? Who cares? Is what I'd say. Who cares?
I find it
We're
interesting.
not saying that, Adam. We agree. It doesn't matter when you celebrate it. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is it's kind of nasty of how they, did what they did. So you wouldn't even want to do it on the real day if that's the case.
I'm saying it's that good a memory that nobody can even recite what the proof is. Smelling a bit bally to me. It's nice to be able to think within history that we can ascribe that and very different standards we would use. Yeah. And in that, I would again question that wherever our study of history leads us, there has to be a much higher level of uncertainty, even in something that appears to be certain in history. I wouldn't be making statements that this is the date of the birth of
It's
Christ.
not statements in
ever.
history; it's in Scripture.
And you've got to work your way through history, haven't you? In
Yeah,
terms of to place it.
it's flailingly connected to it. That's that. Yeah, well, it's in Scripture. That's where it originated from.
Yes, and I've got no problem with the solidity of that in Scripture. I've got a problem with the translation of Scripture to the modern calendar. That's where I have an issue, and that's where my
They
uncertainty
used
would
the old
lie.
calendar, and they come
Yeah,
to
and they converted it and perverted them all and twisted from Gregorian to Julian.
Yeah,
And that's
outside of
where
the
they
thing
know-
that we
they
didn't
know.
even know they were using
The
when they
ones
wrote
that
all
screwed
this
it up,
Scripture.
though.
Super chat.
Superfood.
Oh.
Superfluid. Tony Whitcomb, don't rock Dave's boat, Betty. Sounds like babies in the making. LOL. Oh gosh.
Oh, Tony.
Tony.
I was really disappointed in you.
I'm not. I'm pleased somebody else is dragging the conversation down other than me.
Are you having haggis for dinner again, Adam?
Not on Christmas Day. No, that'll be in the new year on Burns night. We're gonna I think okay. Let's get it back to Crimbo talk. I like that. I hate turkey. It's horrible. Horrible.
Okay.
So
Why?
we're having a capon, which is just a really big chicken, as far as I'm aware.
We
It
are
tastes like
getting
turkey, tastes like chicken.
Hmm.
Chicken. And then we've got a ham and a roast beef,
Wow.
and they're the joints this year.
You smoking joints?
And the joints of meat. There'll be no joints at the table.
But that means sorry, I Dutch.
This is a rough one for us. We're gonna have hot dogs and beans.
Ugh.
Still with meat. I'm only kidding.
I hope not. I hope you are, because hot dogs and beans
Adam,
sound so out of place.
Adam, do you guys do the 7 fishes on Christmas Eve?
No, never heard of it.
You never heard of the 7 fishes?
No,
And 2 loaves?
It's an Italian thing. Yeah, we have Christmas Eve is always all seafood, and it's usually 7 different fishes.
I like that idea. I was planning a
Yeah.
curry.
Yeah. No. It's usually duck curry. Like on my wife's side, it's definitely duck curry and dal puri on Christmas
5
Day.
loaves, 2 fishes. Never mind. I was trying to make another Bible reference and got it
Oh,
wrong.
you did a good job, right? Yes. Nice.
So 7
Hey, everyone.
fishes this year will be dwindled down to 1 fish, shrimp scampi. That's Christmas Eve.
You get
Christmas
what?
Day we'll have something nice.
Not a shrimp on the barbie? Hmm.
Betty, what are you having?
What? Me? It's difficult to explain. I
Let
think
me
it's
guess, Brian.
fondue at the first night, like with different meats in a pot of like grease.
Is that Christmas Eve?
That's Christmas Eve.
Cheesy
yeah.
fondue.
And then it's steak with soup and bread, I suppose. Yes. And then next, what we call some. I don't know how you call that.
Gonna get weird,
But you
isn't it?
have wait a second. You go into 3 days, December 26th?
Yes,
Wow.
we have 2 holidays. We have first Christmas Day and second Christmas Day. Yes.
Wow. And in the UK, you just have a Boxing Day, right? That's the bigger day. Am I right or am I wrong?
Boxing Day is the reason you all have presents. You never used to give presents on Christmas Day. It was just that religious day.
Right.
And Victorians start using the Feast of St. Stephen, Boxing Day, the 26th, to give a present, a little present to people they visit on the Feast of St. Stephen. And it was traditional to give it in a box. It becomes Boxing Day. And then you start get gift giving. This is the commercialization aspect of it. How it's perverted the whole tradition with commercialization. Then you get the gift giving being enticed towards for Christmas. That's the understanding I've got in terms of certain British culture. But that's why we still have Boxing Day. But it is the Feast of St. Stephen's. Good
Right,
King
but it all-
Wenceslas
it all-
last looked out on the Feast of Stephen. That bit, yeah.
Okay, so but it all goes back to when Jesus was born. They brought him gifts, right? Frankincense and things like that, right? Does it all go back to that?
Could be.
The nativity is a big part of, certainly over here, the nativity is a big part of Christmas Eve. That's its purpose, Christmas Eve.
Right. Did I hear Brian's voice?
Yeah. And then he's gone. He only came in to say what he has. You can probably guess what he has for Christmas dinner, Kiwi.
Yeah, hash browns.
Yeah. Makes the effort. It's Christmas Day.
My God.
Well, that's the whole thing. I don't care what day it is. I went down that road and it just made me bitter. So, no, I'm putting up the tree. I decorate the tree. I put up lights. The evergreen tree to me represents everlasting life. And the gifts I give to my children is because God gave me that wonderful gift in Christ. That's all.
Beautiful.
Hello,
Neil.
everyone.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, I only just joined for a moment. I heard you speaking about 9/11.
No,
not-
you can't go there till you tell us what you're having for Christmas Day.
I don't know yet. I don't know what happened for Christmas Day.
What did you have last year then?
There was
What
no
you plan?
harvest of the potatoes.
Chicken, I think, or turkey and roast potatoes and all that stuff. Yeah.
I've decided, Brian, big step this year in the Meekin household. We've decided to abandon roast parsnips. We're just not doing them. We're not replacing them. We're just throwing them off the menu.
Well done. Well done. Not that I think that's a good idea, but
I might regret it, Brian. I don't know. I will tell you in the new
you
year.
will. You'll regret it. You'll regret it after a few drinks. You'll want that. Go back and eat some of those roast parsnips that you had at dinner, and they won't be there because you didn't have them at dinner.
Brian, don't let him take you off the rails, Brian. Where were you going?
All right, 9/11 Schmellen. Go on, off you go.
No, not about the event. It's about well, it would be the event for Christians. It's not September the 11th. It's November the 11th. They moved the calendar because of Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar naming July and August after them. That moved the calendar forward. So September the 11th will be the 11th of the 7th. November the 11th will be the 11th of the 9th, which will be the 252nd day of the year.
Thanks, Brian. That helps. That helps out a lot. Thank
point.
you. Appreciate it. We can get into that argument. I really don't want to go there.
Yeah, I don't agree because the sign of Virgo was also known back in the day, and I think that's the day when Jesus was born.
It wasn't. That's the point.
Well, I wasn't
there's
trying to start an argument. I was
there's
just
nothing.
pointing out.
Right. Brian's right in that, and this is what happens. This is why I say it's nonsense,
No,
because you
Brian
throw
is
this
not right.
in, and it just confuses it, because there is no definitive way to answer that calendar answer. There isn't an answer for all of history.
The gospel is in the stars.
It's not relative to just the birth
The
date of
gospel
Christ.
is in the stars. That's what
Yes,
they
and the
observe.
gospel, I'm not disputing that. It's how you translate that into the perversion in history of the calendars.
Sign to the sky.
There isn't this,
Sign.
unfortunately, this match between the almanac and
But the
the,
thing
and the
is,
sky data. I'll bet you, mate.
I believe, let me say that one, that it is in the gospel is in the stars, and that it's sort of points at times and the spaces and the things that are happening.
Yeah. But how do you match the gospel star data to our almanac? It's not been done yet. Nobody's ever shown me that. Can you show that? You've
I
only
have
got the
not an
match.
astronomer or astrologist or
No,
whatever.
because it's
I
not
don't
there.
do the
There is.
calculations.
But what's the
So
difference
you're
if
relying
they
on
change
something that you don't have.
Hold on.
I know from the Bible.
Oh my God!
Everything points.
Stop! One at a time. And Neil, do I gotta tell you?
Tell me what? I'm roboting.
No, you got three people talking, and then you come in with your color commentary underneath. Do you think that that's helping?
I didn't hear anybody. I thought it was the only one.
You didn't hear anyone talking. So,
Did
Betty.
you not hear me and Betty over talking each other?
Can I just say the only reason I said that was because of the event. The other event is on September the 11th, whereas the real event, the one you're actually addressing, is on November the 11th. But September is November. November is September.
Yeah, that's where Shut up, Neil. That's the problem with this, is because all the calendar changes over the years convolutes this
but the stars
into
don't.
nonsense, right?
But the stars didn't, right? So the stars and Virgo is visible in that month, right? And that's the place where Jesus was born. The gospel is in the
What?
stars, people. That's why
What?
there
What?
is that
Yeah, but
firmament up
it's,
above,
Betty,
right? So that we
Virgo
can
is
observe
the
it.
star.
Here we go again.
Even David did observe the stars.
No, Betty, you've just citing Virgo as the star. Now, I assume one star
A
and it's
constellation of
GP. Well,
Virgo, yeah.
why that? Which one? Why? Can you just
What?
expand on that? Because I've
Yeah.
not heard this. Claim
Well,
that there's
there's a guy.
I can understand why it's Virgo, obviously. Which star and why?
So it
and
comes from
how is that-
Revelation.
There's more stars there.
yeah, but that
It comes.
Can
Hold
I
on, hold on. This all comes from Revelation 12. Okay, that's where they
I'm not
started.
arguing.
That's where they started out from. All right, it talks about the
I'm not
birth.
arguing.
yeah, but Betty.
Oh
Betty
my
might be
God!
boy in November.
Brian,
But
Brian,
what you call
Brian,
September? 1 second, Adam. 1
Brian.
second, Adam. Adam,
No,
please.
not 1 second, mate. I'm having a conversation with
For
Betty.
what?
I asked
Oh,
Betty a
okay.
specific question.
I listen live then. Okay.
No, we'll sulk if you want. Yeah, and reiterate that 9/11 point. I'm asking Betty. She's made a statement that I'm asking for information about that I've not heard. I'm not challenging it. You said Virgo and that.
Yeah.
How is that? Dane, can you just expand on it? Because I'm interested.
Virgo
That's
is
really
a
cool.
constellation. Virgo is the whole Bible is full of signs about the firmament. People don't understand that.
I do understand that. I'm asking for the specific detail as why we're
for example,
saying Virgo and its position
Can
enables us to date it. That's why I'm asking why there must be some supporting evidence to that.
Yeah, I do. It's in the Bible. I'm trying to say that. Also,
I appreciate it's in the Bible. I'm asking you to just tell me what it is because you obviously know it and I don't. I'm ignorant.
It's a constellation.
Know what
And
Virgo
you have
is?
the star constellations
Okay.
that turn in
Okay.
every month to another.
I
So
understand
when
you
you
don't
have
know.
your
Fair enough.
horoscope, for example, right? It starts at a certain point and ends at a certain point, and it doesn't always go exactly within the month, right? But it used to be within that month. People that do horoscopes, even if it's sort of satanic, whatever, I don't do that, right? But it's part of of course, Satan sort of hijacked it too, by the way. But the constellation tell the story of the gospel. There's a guy, and I forget his name now, and he says the gospel in the sky, and he goes over all these constellations, what it means, what it used to mean, because certain, for example, the sign for the scarab was a sign for scarab that became cancer, right? So that's something that was changed alongside, right? But there's all kinds of meanings in those constellations, and he goes over every constellation and tells us basically what it's about, and that it sort of forms a circle of life, basically. And it starts in Nisan, which means basically in the first month that the year starts. And in 7 months, there's a child born in Virgo, right? So that's the whole idea of
So
it.
Virgo's not a star. That's what I'm asking
No,
you.
the
Which star within?
constellation, right?
We're
Don't
following a star,
confuse
not a
this.
constellation.
Don't confuse this with the Star of Bethlehem.
What are you meaning then? So a completely different astrological prophecy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, it is in the stars, like I said. And I can't explain it as well as the guy in that video. But it is really, really interesting. I might look it up and so for you to
That's what I was
review.
asking for more information. I wasn't challenging you on it. I've not heard it. But actually, if somebody's bothered to get to a point where they're claiming you can use the constellations to date it, with certain prerequisites required. It's something I've looked at. Now, first of all, is to identify, if we're talking about the Star of Bethlehem, which star of that would be commensurate with, when it was over Bethlehem and the possible dates.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the whole constellation of Virgo, that covers a much greater landmass, and you would expect more specificity.
Yeah, but that's not just the sign, right? The like QE said, Revelation 12 sign is there was a sign in the heavens, right, in the stars, basically. And that same constellation has happened, I think, last 23rd of September, I suppose, also now. And with a certain planet that is in the womb of the woman, right? That is the constellation of Virgo, and then comes exactly 7 months later. So it is sort of retrograding inside that woman in the constellation and comes out, and that's the birth. That's that constellation sign. And maybe that's speculation, of course. Maybe that's the sign that these guys in the that they saw that, right? These guys on those maybe camels, the kings that went to visit Christ.
I like all this. A lot of the research I've done includes actually how biblical stories are in the stars, how they're repeated in the star patterns, how Judaism adopts that from Greco-Roman stuff, or Greco-Roman adopts it from Judaic or Abrahamic Christians, but they're all there. That's one of the claims, I think, of Jesus's mastery, that he's able to do all this.
Yeah.
It's probably called divination of the stars, but it's to recite all the stories and use the star map to recite the stories.
So can you imagine if you are Satan and everybody would be able to, by the stars, by the constellations, day of the month it would be, when certain things would happen, because the gospel is basically portrayed within the stars, right? Also, like a third of the stars fell from heaven to earth, right? Because they fell with Satan. They didn't want to do what they were supposed to do, right? So, but the constellations are still there. You can still sort of see what they sort of could have meant, right? Back in the day, with this much data about that, and sort of the myth and whatever. You can still compose that. Also, the names of the stars are very telling, right? It was known back in the day, but that is lost now because the calendar was wrong. It doesn't sort of fit with the signs that are being shown in the heavens, right? So Satan would convolute that, right? Like he does everything. So
All right.
everything is basically a lie now.
All right, so I didn't scrutinize this. I didn't go back into my research, so I just pulled it up from the Living Truth Fellowship. Revelation 12:1 says, "There appeared a great wonder in heaven." The word wonder is the Greek word simian. I can't. They do it again. In Greek literature, they don't spell it correctly. It's not of any use anyway. Is used of any kind of sign, but a notable usage is in reference to the sign of the Zodiac. This is particularly interesting in the context of Revelation 12, for the sign is said to have appeared in heaven. The sign spoken of in verse 1 is a woman, and the only sign of the Zodiac that could correspond to the description is the constellation Virgo. Revelation 12 further specifies that the woman was clothed with the sun, another celestial body. The sun, as it appears to travel through the ecliptic each year, enters into the mid-body between the neck and the knees of the constellation Virgo, clothing her with the sun for approximately a 20-day period. So this one astronomical detail shown in John's vision narrows down the astronomical event he is describing to a 20-day period during any given year. In the year 3 BC, the sun was in this position from August 27th through September 15th. The woman in Revelation 12 was not only clothed with the sun, but also the moon was under her feet. With these two specific details, the sun and the moon found in Virgo, we can be very precise in our computation of time. In 3 BC, this configuration of the sun and the moon in Virgo occurred on one day only, and that was 11 September. This configuration of the sun and the moon in the constellation Virgo was observable in Palestine between sunset and moonset, this twilight period being called night. On September 11, 3 BC, sunset was at 6:18 p.m. and moonset at 7:39 p.m. Based on the information given in Revelation 12, it was during this 81-minute period that Jesus Christ took his first breath of life and became a living soul, even as Adam did in Genesis 2:7. Perhaps even at the beginning of this new day. The description given in Revelation 12:1 exactly chronicles the astronomical occurrence of the evening of September 11th, 3 BC. Verse 2 of Revelation 12 describes the woman as being in labor, ready to give birth. Verses 3 and 4 recount symbolically the adversary's fall from heaven and his plan to slay the child as soon as he was born. In verses 4 and 5, the woman's labor finishes and the child brought forth. Verse 5 refers to the child's birth and the ascension to God's throne. Clearly, these are all specifics. These specifics, the child can be none other than Christ, the Messiah, the promised seed. As if there were not enough evidence, there was yet another significant astronomical display on September 11th, 3 BC. From sunset of September 11th to sunset of September 12th was one day on the Hebrew calendar. Not only did the sign of Revelation 12:1 occur then, but also on this very day, Jupiter and Regulus could be seen approaching conjunction before dawn. Although the precise astronomical conjunction occurred on September 14th, the angle of observation and Jupiter's slow apparent motion would have made the close rendezvous, I love that word, obvious as early as the pre-dawn hours of Thursday, September 12th. Within the hours of the Messiah's birth, at this time, the king planet Jupiter could be seen approaching the king star Regulus in the constellation of Lieu, the sign of Judah from whose seed the Messiah, the promised seed, the ultimate ruler, came. According to chronological tables, September 11th, 3 BC fell on a Wednesday. Jesus Christ was born on the Hebrew day corresponding to our sunset, September 11th, Wednesday. Therefore, Jesus Christ was born on Wednesday, September 11th, 3 BC, between 6:18 and 7:39 p.m. Palestine time. September 11th may appear to be of no particular significance to us, but in biblical and Hebrew reckoning, this month and day held a special significance. On the evening of what we would call September 11th, 3 BC, the new moon first became visible in the west shortly after sunset. Since the Hebrew calendar months began on the evening that the new moon appeared, the evening of September 11th was the first day of the new month. The evening of September 11th to the evening of September 12th in 3 BC was the first day of the 7th month of Tishri. Hence, in biblical terminology, Jesus was born on the 1st of Tishri, between 6:18 and 7:39 p.m. On this night, the remarkable astronomical configuration described in Revelation 12:1 occurred. Virgo, the woman, was clothed with the sun, and the moon rested under her feet, has a depiction of the constellation and what it would look like.
Nice. Well, it's almost like a rap, right? With this.
Almost like you have to understand astrology to interpret Revelation.
Yeah, but they did that back in the day.
Yeah, Hebrew Mazzaroth. The Hebrews would have known the Hebrew Mazzaroth. So I don't know about astrology.
Once again, I'll point the point. What they do is pointing out that celestial alignment only at the point where the radar beam is going to bounce back off the sun, where they expect the radar beam to bounce back off the sun. It's the only point they.
How can you
I'm
believe
telling you.
so much? It's such
Neil, stop it. Why? Stop it. Why? Because it hurts. Because you're not going to have a rebuttal because you've not heard me finish yet.
I don't want to hear
it's
it,
only
Adam.
pain.
It's
Keep
such a
crying,
beautiful
Neil.
message.
Keep crying. I'll say to you guys, right? Genuinely, if you go out and preach this,
yeah,
make sure you know it's truth, because there's no way in the world I would preach this to anyone as truth.
And that's your problem.
That's your, but you don't
That's
believe
my
that.
problem. That I don't believe in the signs of the stars. I don't believe in astrology, Neil.
No.
Not
I take
astrology.
the meanings and the interpretations
Oh, the
in
devil
Revelation as astrology.
It's
Neil.
not
That's my
astrology. It comes from the Hebrew Mazzaroth. The astrology came after. It's a Babylonian.
Signs and divination.
It's a Babylonian
No problem with signs and divination.
abduction. Don't overtalk me. It's a Babylonian corruption with their Tootsie Roll decks.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. They were closer to the source, basically, than we are, so they would know.
Like I say, I've got no problem theorizing this, but to state it and to preach it to another as fact, I would have a real issue with.
I don't.
That's you, man.
I don't. I just keep it to myself.
That's
I
cool.
know it.
Yeah. So we're in the because I can say it. This is the best of my belief in every bit of research I've done. What I can't do is go out there and say that, look, this is the date of the birth of Christ.
Well,
can't do that.
There's a lot of convolution, like I said, with the Roman Gregorian calendars and stuff, but the Hebrews were specific into keeping their dates and their calendar pristine.
And Huey, and like I said, we're looking in that the scripture is very specific in its alignment. It's not specific in one. It doesn't mean those alignments don't happen at different times.
Yeah, it does. That alignment only happened once back then.
Back then, at that point where you expect the radar beam to be timed back based on your 99
The
millimeter
radar
resolution.
beam.
Because and that's the analogy I'm drawing, because I'm not questioning scripture. I'm questioning history. Is that the point? He already says 3 BC, so he's -3 when he's born, is he?
Yes. 3
Yeah,
BC.
you understand my point then?
Yeah.
3 before. Yeah. So he's at the age of Christ being born, he's 3.
That's kind of pedantic, but yeah, they screwed that up a bit.
Not. Do you understand? I'm saying there's all sorts of issues, and that's an issue. Looking at the timing of the radar beam bouncing back. If you are prepared to look at the fact that the sun might not be 93 million miles away, there are other timing points you could look at, is what I'm saying. So I'm not certain enough, even with this.
Why would you kill this? Because it was such a beautiful reading, and it was
because I can't, as it says, the Living Truth Fellowship.
It's the devil
it's not
you,
Living
Adam.
Truth.
Come on.
It's
not Living
Conjecture.
Truth.
It's the Living
Get behind
Conjecture
me,
Fellowship.
Satan, I would say.
It's the Living Conjecture
Get behind
Fellowship.
me,
And
Satan.
It's the
Satan lies.
Betty. He said it's the Living Conjecture Fellowship.
Yeah. Get behind me, Satan. Bye.
It's also prerequisite that the identification from the initial bit in Revelation
Can we
is
stop
the
this?
correct
Because I'm,
identification
with it.
of the correct luminaries. Well, prove that first.
I'll tell you what.
Very
You have
nice.
You have to give it to. We got it, Adam. We got your point. You have to give it to Adam with the Living Conjecture Fellowship. I mean, that was classic.
Yeah, well, maybe on another time.
Yeah,
Another day.
it's okay. Like I said, I don't preach it to people. I know it's true.
Yeah, and me too. Because
So it's good enough for me. I don't hold church over it.
No, and it's not a saving issue, right?
Yes.
So, that sort of thing. But it's just a beginning of anything else that also is sort of coded into the Bible, right? Because we have references to the man with the pitcher, the lion. Why is Jesus represented as the fish, right? We had the sign of the fish, right? It's all because that's priesthood, right? Priesthood. And people don't understand the ram, right? We have a ram as a like a Capricorn, and we have the that's not Capricorn. Capricorn
We have
in January.
Taurus.
And we have Taurus. We have all these signs mean something, right? And
I'll
it's so
put
much
them in
deeper
context,
than people
Betty.
think. And then they accuse you of being of a heresy, but that's basically the devil saying that you can't look into these things. But it's so profound.
I thought you wanted to move away from us, Betty. It doesn't sound like
Yes,
you're
but I
moving
want
on.
to make that final statement.
Is that your final statement?
Yes, it was.
I'll add to that, because these
See, there he
descriptions
is.
are supported in Scripture, all of them. So, and Joseph's telling his brothers to pretend that you're cattlemen, yeah, and not shepherds. So these are the ages. So the age of the bull, Taurus, is when over the equinox.
What the hell are you talking about, Adam?
I don't know. I
So,
think they
I'm going to come to it. I'm going to link you if you just humor me for a minute. So if we start in Mosaic times, when we're questioning the worship of the bull, constellation that's predominant equinox is Taurus. Okay, and then we transfer in to the shepherd age, the shepherd kings, which are the Israelites. They're the shepherds. Yeah, that's the 2,000 years Abrahamic Mosaic law. Then we
to Adam.
sorry, just humor me just for this short bit. Then after that, the skies, because of procession, will move into Pisces, which is Christ's reign this next 2,000 years. The next claim from the 70s you hear is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. That's the next shift because of procession.
I heard that song.
Man with the picture.
Those fisher of men relates to, that's why Christ is, he was the shepherd, but also the fisher of men, because it's at that conjuncture, if you look at the stars, that Christ is born. It's the end of the shepherd age and the beginning of the Piscean age, which is why then later along you get the fisher kings, and they use the stars to define the age.
Capricorn now. Aquarius, Capricorn, and then backward, not forward.
It's Taurus.
Taurus we already had.
Yeah. And we're into Aries.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
And then coming into Aquarius, I think in 50, 60 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the time period exactly. You got it.
That's the important way of defining them.
Wait a minute, it's also encrypted in the Bible these times.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why Joseph
What I
says
was alluding
to his
to.
brothers.
Yes, when you sort of said it wasn't so.
Excuse me for giving you the exact part of scripture. Sorry about that.
Adam, you're
Which I already gave you the hint of.
The living.
I know. I smelt your hint.
The Living Conjecture Fellowship.
Shut up, John.
I did like that. I'm sorry, buddy.
You were included in that membership, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't mind. I give him +1 for that one. That was nice move, Adam.
Was on the fly. So
it was on the fly too, which made it that much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Give him some more feathers in his behind.
He's okay.
Look, guys. Just because I'm showing higher standards than you, it's fine. No problem. I've not got a beef with you.
Yeah, Mr. Haggis guy.
Yeah, he's pissing down our back, Betty, and telling us it's raining.
Yeah, indeedy. Yep.
All right. So, is it time to wrap things up?
Yeah, no super chats more.
What? Is there super chat?
No, there's no more super chats.
Oh, there isn't?
No, it's not super fluid now.
Super fluid, supermodel. All right,
yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
So it's not the Christmas present for you or your birthday present, right? For next week.
Yeah, next Tuesday's show. I will still have a show next Tuesday. That is the day after Christmas, and that is my birthday.
Yeah, and I won't be there.
Boxing Day.
Yeah, Boxing Day. That's that. I remember that.
So you're not there, Adam, then?
Would anybody mind giving me the minutes, just the minutes of what was discussed today? Because I was at work. And
No.
Just signing.
No, that's
okay.
why. No, that's why they make the rewind button.
Oh yeah.
Like that's why people's names say like Quantum Eraser, Cyrix, the Adam Mickey, not D Rose's secretary.
Adam's in.
I digress.
Hey, D Rose, happy Christmas, bro.
Yeah. So
same to you, bro. Miss you guys, man, for real.
Cool. So we got BALLBUSTERS on Saturday. Let me get that thumbnail up. 1 second, please. BALLBUSTERS Saturday. Oh, that's not the right one. Why is that there? Okay. That's not even showing. 1 second, people. Aha. Got it. So we got BALLBUSTERS on Saturday. We're gonna kind of put the ball-tards and the dielectric acceleration, E for believers. We're gonna pound them into pulverize them into dust with just this itty bitty thumbnail right there. It tells you all you need to know. It's over for them. So that's what we'll be talking about Saturday. Brian will be giving a presentation on it. And before that, either tomorrow, Thursday, or Friday, I don't know yet because I have things to do. There will be a treatment at some point this week, so keep a weather ear and eye out for that.
Yeah, and don't be offended by the thumbnail.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Because QE wanted it that way.
Right, but that is what in the world? That is a reverse stuff. And because you used as a preemptive strike, now that I'll try to get out of it, it sounds like I'm guilty.
Yes, but we do that the same thing all the time.
You friggin' weasel, you overclocking, mother clucking weasel.
How can I be a weasel?
You weaseled that in, and it's totally the opposite of reality.
Well, you call people all kinds of names, and now I sort of express it in a thumbnail, and then you get offended.
I thought it was grotesque, people, but since Betty did a lot of work on it, you ever have to deal with women like this because they done all the research, but my wife used to do this to me. Since she did all the research, and it was long hours of research, then I have to buy the Ford Pinto. That sort of mentality, right? So she did all this work on this thumbnail, and when I first looked at it, I used my gut with it, and it just didn't sit right with me. And I told her so, but she laid the guilt trip on me that if I do all this work for you, you're not appreciable or appreciating all this work. You know.
True.
You know the routine.
Being honest.
And that's not the only reason. The other reason is you talk about people in that manner all the time, and then when I visualize it for you, then you get offended.
Yeah, but it just struck me the wrong way. Anyway, folks.
There you go.
So now you got the
Looks a
true
little
story.
washed.
So, Adam, now you got the true story. Not you, Adam. I just wanted you to shut up. Now that you... Now that
I
everyone...
don't want you to round out. That's all I want you to. Give us an opportunity before you round out.
It better not be a long rounding out. So let me summarize by saying Betty just
It's no
gave
more
up.
than 3 passages.
So Betty just gave up the ghost. Now you know that the thumbnail I didn't agree with, and she tried to shift the burden of proof on me with the reverse stuff.
I did that on purpose. You know that, right?
I know you did.
And by the way, it's a nice, like, sort of cliffhanger, isn't it?
Yeah, but they'll know what it.
People are now on the lookout for the bad.
It's not that it's bad. It just didn't. When I seen it, I went, But
now people are wondering what that is.
And it's not that big a deal. Probably most people aren't going to even think that it's all that much. So we built it up, and it's not going to be anything. So, all right, Adam, I'm getting ready to finish out. So, last words.
Only sure I shall be concise. I just want to wish everybody out there happy Christmas, lovely New Year. Love to you all, and see you on the side because I'm probably not going to be here at the weekend. Certainly not Boxing Day. So yeah, have a fantastic Christmas, everyone. Particularly you and Betty. Okay? Love you guys. It's good doing this stuff with you.
Thanks to you, Adam.
Yep.
Anyone else want to say anything out there in YouTube land? Say it right now.
I want to wish everybody a happy holidays, season greetings. I really miss all you guys. Sorry I haven't been able to be congregating with you as much as I used to, but life is good.
Thanks for the robot, Neil. Appreciate that. Betty, you want to take us home?
I know, he's so rude, too. Don't even know how to come in clear.
Betty.
That was the perfect greeting. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for the rendition, Adam. We needed to hear that again. Betty,
Yes.
you want to take us home?
Yeah, I want to also thank the audience for watching this sort of pre-Christmassy show. I wonder how many people will be there on your birthday. I hope they will get there on that Tuesday next week after Christmas, because yeah, right, Boxing Day, Endless Day. So, and further along, I think let's have a good celebration, because every celebration that we have is one, and they can't take that away from us, right? So be nice to one another and love one another.
That's right. That's right. My birthday was last Wednesday, by the way. Happy belated birthday, Original D Rose. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Betty. How about everyone a very Merry Christmas, Betty?
Yes. Merry Christmas.
The idea of celestial navigation on a globe, which I understand you disagree with, doesn't use right triangles.
What the hell did you just say?
The idea of celestial navigation on a globe, which I understand you disagree with, doesn't use right triangles.
From second grade doofus, well, duh. A right-angled triangle is a triangle with one of the angles as 90 degrees.
Okay, so you also mentioned celestial navigation. Do you know what an elevation angle is?
Yeah, it's how high above 90 degrees a star appears, like the angular elevation.
So 90 degrees would be the zenith, and 90 along a baseline to your position, correct?
Yeah.
From second grade doofus, well, duh. A right-angled triangle is a triangle with one of the angles as 90 degrees.
90 degree from that position on the Earth to the star is straight up. That's 90 degrees, yes. The idea of celestial navigation on a globe doesn't use right triangles. The position directly under the star is 90 degrees.
Retard! From second grade doofus, well, duh. A right-angled triangle is a triangle with one of the angles as 90 degrees.
90 degrees, that's 90 degrees, yes. 90 degrees doesn't use right triangles. 90 degrees, that's 90 degrees.
Thank you.
The baseline we will be travelling along and are navigating is functionally and mathematically flat, isn't it, Matthew?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So
yeah,
Earth, that would be the Earth. That would be the Earth that we will be navigating is flat, isn't it, Matthew?
Yeah, we're navigating on the Earth, and functionally it's flat, and we navigate along a flat map, of course.
Welcome to Flat Earth, Matthew. That's correct. From a university-grade mathematician, for all of you ladies and gentlemen, that will be trimmed out and posted everywhere. That's a university-grade mathematician telling you, the audience, that Earth is functionally measured and navigated flat. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Of course, that's why all maps are flat.